here on our guest. He can take his time. I'm just going to go ahead and start an introduction off so we can go ahead and start getting some people in here. Welcome back to another live stream. We're going to be doing a little bit of a debate. We'll talk about the Ukrainian Russian war situation. We'll talk about the Iran war. We'll talk a little bit about Israel. We'll address all of your points on the things that you weren't fond about. But let's wait for some people to get on here. I'm gonna go ahead and share this out on Discord so we can get some people in here. Or we wait for him to turn. Let's go down. Scroll down, and do we have anyone in here yet? Nope, not yet. When people start joining, let me know when you guys are coming around here. Hopefully everyone can see our stream good. We'll go ahead and put that in there.
See, it's acting weird on my.
Huh? What's acting?
I'm working with a headphone setup here, and it's not connecting correctly.
Your headphones are not connecting?
Yeah. And let's see.
We got one person in here. Let me know who's watching out there. Drop a comment. The guest is just trying to connect his headphones right now while we wait.
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, here.
Testing.
Here, let me try disconnecting and reconnecting, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Stream. Double tap that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're going to try to get this guest up in here. Hello, Cindy. How are you doing today? What's so great about the USA? It's the best country in the world to build wealth. Our guest here, please be patient with us. Hello, can you hear us? Is that
I can hear. See.
Real John Shields 111 America. So what would you say if someone asked you what's so great about the US?
Me?
Yeah, what would you say?
What I would say what's really great about the United States is, I would say is something that people don't talk about is the sheer beautiful landscape we have out here, like the national park, like just the beautiful nature we have out here, and the fact that we can speak up against our government, and that there's so much opportunity out here too. Like even in bad times in the United States, there's still a lot of opportunities that just other nations don't have, and it's like America is. Well, another thing I like about America is like we're such a big, massive country, and like it's really hard to find the one American thing. But like when you start like listening to foreigners' perspectives on America, you realize we have something really unique and special here that most
Do you
other
think
countries.
America is a terrorist state?
Okay, what?
Do you think America is a terrorist country? Do you think we're terrorists?
Support terrorists?
Do you think we are terrorists?
Are we terrorists? Like say like the Iranians? No. Like we're not really, but like
So no, the answer is no. Are you a Democrat socialist? Do you like the social democrat policies, or where you go on as far as that stuff?
The social, like the Socdoms, how I feel about them is here's the truth. I think they will be a real problem given a few years from now. Like I think they'll be the problem of the 2030s, but as of now, they are not the problem. MAGA is the problem. Like the Socdoms, they will be a problem, but as of right now, they're not a problem in the sense that like I don't think we're gonna have a communist revolution in the
What
next four
about free
years.
buses and free subways?
I don't see anything wrong with
They
public
raised the
transportation.
prices. That was a broken promise. They raised the prices. The prices went up by $1.
Okay, I mean, I'm not really an expert on public transportation, or I haven't really like it's not a subject I'm deeply into, but I am pro public transportation. But also, I recognize that's a complicated issue. I mean, given the sheer size of the United States, like public transportation is not going to be an easy issue to tackle, despite what Europeans may think. But if you're talking about New York and Mandani, I have not been keeping up with that at all. Like, there's just like there's a lot more stuff for me to care about before I even start looking at New York. Really, truth be told, I don't really care what New York is doing.
Can you turn your camera on for a couple minutes and introduce yourself?
Introduce myself. Okay,
If you don't mind turning your camera on.
yo, Rifleman 0311. The name comes from the MLS. The Marine Corps. I was in for about 4.5 years, from 2019 to, and I consider myself a never Trump Republican and all that.
You're a never Trump Republican. What happened to you saying that you voted for Trump?
I voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020. Absolutely did not in the most recent election.
Why did you vote for Kamala Harris? Just because you hated Trump?
Actually, I left the. I think I mentioned this before.
You left the ballot empty?
I left the presidential ticket unmarked. I couldn't bring myself to vote for Kamala at the time. Now I would have no problems voting for Kamala at all.
Even though Kamala Harris, in her own words, said she'd do whatever it would take to prevent Iran from building nuclear weapons, and she did not rule war out of that question.
What do you think my criticism of the Iranian war is?
I don't know.
Okay, what it is, my problem is the war has been so incompetently prosecuted. Like I would say, Operation Midnight Hammer was probably a good idea, but this, like from what I can tell, with Trump's actions in this most recent war, in this war with Iran, was he was expecting an easy, quick bombing campaign, and the Iranian regime would just topple over easy because like he only wants to do things that are easy because he's a pathetic coward.
What's up, Vinny? Vinny says, thanks to Trump, I can super chat $50. If you're in any other country other than the USA, you can't afford as much. I understand it's okay. One day you two will have a president who doesn't suck. Hey, thank you, Time, for those memberships. Cindy, Alex, Two Stonk. And when we get some more people in here, maybe I'll send some memberships. What was the last thing you were saying? Sorry, I got chat confused me a little bit.
So I'm saying Trump has handled this war so poorly, and also just because
What's poorly done so far? Less people have died in this war than the pullout in Afghanistan. Actually, it's the same amount. Sorry, I'll correct myself. It's the exact same death toll.
And I would say the Afghan pullout was significantly less incompetently handled than this current war.
Significantly less incompetent. We weren't even at war, and more people died in Afghanistan than they died during the whole Iranian conflict. And that was just from us trying to leave. That was literally just from trying to get soldiers into the place to leave and head out of Afghanistan. That's it.
Okay, so let's see. I don't know how to say this without sounding insulting, so I'm just gonna say it. Your understanding of military conflict and military history
I never
is
claimed to
so
understand military
bombastically
history.
bad, I don't even know where to begin to explain how wrong you are.
About what, Afghanistan? Were you in the Afghanistan pullout? Because I can call up one of my buddies right now. He was there in Afghanistan in Kabul during the pullout. He'll tell you out of his own mouth that was 100% from Biden not following military plans Trump's generals left him.
But I've been critical of the Afghan pullout. I've always been critical of the Afghan pullout. That's one of my biggest criticism of the Biden administration. I have never been a fan of
Okay, so
Biden.
then how are you saying that the Afghani pullout was more successful than the Iranian war? Because that's just
Less
false.
incompetent.
That's just false. On what metric?
On what metric? The fact that we were able to achieve our strategic objectives, getting Americans out of Afghanistan.
No, we didn't achieve our strategic objectives. Our original objectives was to take that equipment back home to America with us. That billions and billions of dollars of equipment. That was originally our objective, to take that back home to America. But that was part of Biden just leaving everything there and pulling out and escaping, go back. So we didn't complete any of our
What do you know
objectives.
about the
We
Doha
failed.
Agreement?
We failed on stabilizing
What do you know
Afghanistan
about
in
the
that
Doha
particular
Agreement?
area. We
What
failed
do you know about
on.
the agreement?
Sorry.
What do you know about the Doha Agreement? The agreement that Trump administration and the Taliban had before Biden was in office.
I don't know a whole lot about it, but what do you want to talk about regarding to it?
Well, the fact you don't know anything is
I
another
said I don't know
indication.
a whole lot about it. What about it? What specific about
What
it?
do
You
you
brought
know
this
about
up last
it?
time.
What do you know about it?
We talked about this last time. Don't you remember?
No. What do we know about it?
That was the accord. That was the agreement that was signed in 2020 when Trump was president. That was part of the Afghanistan deal. That was the deal that Trump was putting in place for the soldiers to begin withdrawing.
Who were the relevant parties that were part of that agreement?
The relevant parties? What do you mean? The political parties are like in Afghanistan? I think it was our military, and I don't know who else was a part of it. But obviously, Afghanistan was a part of it. Uh,
No,
the
the
Taliban was
Afghanistan
a part
government.
of it. Is that what you're trying to say? The
The
Taliban?
Afghanistan government was not a part of it.
I said the Taliban. I never said the Afghanistan government. It was between
Don't you
America
see
and
that
Taliban.
the
Huh?
Afghanistan government was our ally? Don't you see that's a problem that they weren't a part of the talks?
How is that a problem? We're
It's
dealing
their
with
country.
the Taliban. Are
The
we dealing?
Taliban is a
The
the
Taliban
Taliban
rules
is an
Afghanistan.
organization that
Everyone
operates
knows
in
the
defense.
Taliban is who governs Afghanistan.
Being loud doesn't make you right. So the
Huh?
Afghan government has a vested interest to know what kind of deal we're making with a violent religious organization within their borders.
But it's not an organization. The Taliban governs the government. But what does that have to do with Biden's failure of the Afghanistan pullout?
What that has to do is the situation that, and again, I don't defend Biden how he handled it, but it has to do with the situation that led to
The
what was going
Doha
on.
Accords was under Trump. So if Biden didn't like anything with the Doha Accords, then why didn't he change it or why didn't he do anything differently?
Shut up.
He did. He did. He literally just went against the Doha Accords, but he went against the worst parts of
Try to
them.
pull out sooner.
He should. He did try to pull out sooner because he was scared of the next president. Pulling out soon, didn't you want us to pull out of Afghanistan in general? I think we both agree that was a good thing, yeah? It was just bad the way they did it.
Well, yes, I would say pulling out of Afghanistan with a stable Afghanistan government would have been good. But that is not what happened. And Trump's like bombastic incompetence got in the way of
Who
a
was
smooth,
president, Biden or Trump?
more Trump than Biden.
Biden was president. It wasn't more Trump than Biden. Biden was president when we pulled out of Afghanistan.
Is Trump at fault for us being in Afghanistan in the first place? Did he start the Afghanistan war?
No, that was under Bush.
Exactly. So presidents can start situations that the next president has to deal with.
Yeah, and Trump made the plan for Biden to pull out, and Biden did not follow it. I mean, I don't know everything about the Doha Accords, but I can pull up a quick thing on Gemini and tell you all the things that Biden did not follow the military plans. I mean, Trump laid out very simple military
You're
plans.
on an AI in the middle of debate.
I mean, what did Biden not do? Answer the question then. If you don't know the question, then both of us can learn something. It's going to give us sources and provide information. What did Biden not follow the Doha Accords? If you can tell me, then I can make speculations, but I'm going to pull sources. I think that's more
As far
important.
as I can tell, Biden did follow the Doha Accord.
Well, then why not find out? Trump has both an Arab and a Jew as a family member. How is he racist, you fool? Also dated black women as well.
Who said that?
Dated black women. Vinny,
Who
the
said
guy in
that?
the Discord that was in before.
Okay. Okay. So he's somebody I talked to before? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll be nice.
Yeah.
What the hell does that have to do with the price of being in Mexico? I've never said Trump is racist towards Mexicans or Arabs. I don't go down the Trump is racist rabbit hole because, quite frankly, there is a lot of disconfirming information to him being a racist. I don't really care if he's a racist or not. If you want to have that debate with somebody else, I'm not the one to have that debate. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. He was telling someone else in the comment section. He wasn't talking to you, but I will tell you. Here's a list of the stuff that Biden fucked up on as far as pulling out of Afghanistan. Part of the agreement was that he promised us to include making sure the Taliban cuts all ties with terrorist groups like Al Qaeda. They didn't cut any of their terrorist ties. Biden didn't care if they cut the terrorist ties. Secondly, significantly reducing violence across the country. Biden didn't make sure that violence was going down in Afghanistan when he pulled out. Number three, engaging in meaningful, good faith peace talks with official Afghani government. So the reason, literally, I'm reading this from Doha Accords. The person that didn't talk with the Afghani government was Biden. It wasn't Trump. In the Doha Accords that Donald Trump written, he told Biden or whoever, part of the agreement was they have to talk to the Afghani government. That was the Doha Accords.
Can two people be wrong for different reasons?
Well, you said it was wrong for Trump not having the Afghani government involved, but that was Biden's fault. He put it in the agenda to talk to the Afghanistan government. Biden did not.
With Trumples, and I'm getting tired of it, is I bring up a legitimate, verifiable fact.
It's not verifiable. You were referring to Biden.
All you have to say is, what about Biden? I don't care about Biden.
You made a claim that was about Trump. You said that Trump did not, in the Doha Accords, you said in the Doha Accords.
If you want somebody who would defend Biden, go talk to somebody.
I don't want you to defend Biden, but I want you to retract your allegations off of Trump. I just want you to realize the person. Can I talk one at a time? You want to say something? Go ahead.
You interrupt me plenty.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I am not here to defend Biden. I am here to point out the real danger of Donald Trump continuing to be in office. He should be impeached and removed from the office yesterday. He is an incompetent, delusional, violent buffoon.
Okay, so can we get back to the debate topic now? Because you made a claim that the reason when we pulled out of Afghanistan that we did not communicate with the Afghanistan government was because of Trump. Trump is the one that set up the Doha Accords, which says the president of the United States should be negotiating with the Afghani government before we do the pullout. Your claim was something that Joe Biden did, not Trump. You're confusing
Okay,
the two.
let's take a look at this. So the Trump set up the Doha Accord. Biden came into office, and then within months of Biden coming into office, I remember this clearly. The whole thing fell apart, and the Taliban started taking violent actions against the Afghan government. So what that indicates to me was they were never in good faith negotiation, and that would go all the way back to Trump because of how quickly they took the country. That tells me they were planning it while they were in negotiation with the Trump administration. I mean,
Planning
it would
what?
be impossible to do it.
Okay. What evidence do you have of that? That's just a claim. But let's go back. Let's move forward. We're already moving past this. You already want to talk about other things with Trump.
What do you know about military planning?
What do you know about military planning? Were you a soldier or a sergeant or a lieutenant? Or someone planning a war?
But
Last time I checked, people that joined Marines and served for our country, most of them don't know anything about war plans. So what do you know about war plans? Were you the war planner? Were you planning for the war in Afghanistan? Have you ever planned any wars against any other countries before?
okay, so what I can tell you is large scale operations, like what they did, takes planning and coordination. Takes months and months and months,
Mhm.
and quite possibly years. And also, I can tell you that the Afghan government was not included in the Doha Accord when Trump was in office.
That's
And
incorrect. You
Trump
can Google search
was.
this. Here, I'll
Mhm.
show you on screen. You don't believe me. I'll show you on screen. This is directly from Stanford Law. I'm not making this up. Look, Stanford Law, right there. Critics says he did not enforce the agreements to the conditions, significantly reducing violence across the country, engaging in meaningful, good faith peace talks with the official Afghani government. That's what Biden did not do. I specifically asked the AI to give me things that Biden did not do.
Can you ask what Trump did not do? Can you ask it what Trump did not do?
Sure, I can ask it for what Trump did not do. But I don't know what kind of answer it's going to give me. What did Trump not do? Doha Accords.
Here, I'm gonna turn off the camera again. I got some
You're
stuff to
good.
do at
You're
my.
good. He did not include. Okay, you're right. I'll retract my statement. You're right. He did not include the official Afghani government.
Okay, so when it was Biden, it was a big deal for you.
Well,
Now
that
that
was a
it's
claim that
Trump,
you were making. Neither one of them enforced it. So I guess it's both of their faults.
well,
Once
here's the
again,
thing.
I don't see how
I
that's
don't have to.
relevant.
No, I don't put myself into possession to defend Biden. I don't have to defend
I'll
Biden.
defend Biden too. I'll say how is it relevant because look. If I ask Chat GPT, I say who governs Afghanistan? Do you think it's going to tell me the Afghanistan government or is it going to tell me the Taliban?
It's going to tell you the Taliban right now because the Taliban killed the Afghan government.
It's always been like that. Even when the Afghani government was around, they still they still controlled everything.
So you do know in conflicts, certain factions could be in power, and then another faction could be in power within quick succession.
Yeah,
The
sure. But Afghanistan was
Afghan
the Taliban was in power since 20 years ago.
Okay. Do you know that war is fluid?
Yeah, it's fluid. We've been having a war for 47 years against Iran.
Do you understand that war is fluid? Do you understand that war is very fluid?
Yep,
Uh,
I understand. We've been having war against Iran for 47 years. Like, in instance, Joe Biden moved our Marines and our Navy into the Strait of Hormuz. That was an act of war. That was an act of aggression. Oh,
okay.
we understand
What
democracy.
is
So did our
more?
fathers. We rejected it for its evil. We are a constitutional republic. Look up the difference. That's right from chat.
Okay. A republic is a representative democracy. Anybody who says that we're a republic, not a democracy, is like saying a cat is not a feline because they're not a lion. You're a moron if you say that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you're an idiot if you say that. We're a representative democracy, as well as most democracies are representative democracies. This is a dumb talking point, and people who say this do not
China's a
understand.
republic.
Say again?
China is a republic. You think they're a democracy?
China?
Yep.
China is not a republic. They're not a democracy. What are you talking about?
The Chinese Republic of Communism.
Uh, it's the oh wait,
It's
are you?
called the Republic of China, aka Taiwan. Huh?
Wait, okay.
Okay, China used to be a republic. It's not Republic of China anymore. That's from the 40s. But that's my point. It used to be a republic.
Okay, they never been a republic.
Look it up. I'm on Wikipedia right now. Republic of China, 1912 to 1949.
They call themselves a republic for a time period.
The Republic of North Korea.
Okay, I'm an Apache attack helicopter. Am I an Apache attack helicopter?
Depends. Are you liberal?
No.
Okay, then the answer would be no. If you are liberal, the answer would probably be yes.
Declaring myself an Apache attack helicopter make me an Apache attack helicopter.
If you are liberal and you're leftist, yes.
The correct answer is
Does
no.
cutting your penis off make you a woman? I mean,
no.
Okay, then we agree then. Then the answer is no. It does not.
No.
That's my point. Just saying the word republic.
I so do not want to talk about trans issues. Calling yourself a thing does not make you a thing. China has never been a republic.
I agree, but
so them calling themselves a republic means nothing to me. They can call themselves whatever they want. Them calling themselves
chat. No. Sorry about that. We want to see your face. We don't care about your messy laundry room or anything like that.
Okay. It's the problem is I'm walking around my room and I'm doing things and
you can point the camera at your general direction.
Okay, you're really not gonna see much. I'll try.
Muhammad took 30 BBCs and he is a kid diddler. What do you think about Muhammad from the Quran? If you can't send super chat, you gotta close the live stream and reopen it.
Wait, why am I talking about the Islamic Prophet?
Well, I think it's a big topic, right? We are fighting against Iran right now. I mean, I think it goes a lot into why we should destroy Iran.
Okay, okay, I'm not really interested in the whole Islamic debate at this time. There was time in my life where I cared about that more, but what I think about Islam is it's a religion that has brought about a lot of death, destruction, and misery.
It's a religion of peace.
It has also brought community and camaraderie for people. So, like the whole Islamic problem, I don't know how that's dealt with, but it does offer a very easy, logical, rational point to go to jihadism.
Yeah, they've been waging jihad on us for a long time. Time says, this is from Time. This is not from me. This is from Time on my side. He says, we aren't fighting Iran to be clear. We are fighting the Islamic group called the IRGC.
But that's like saying we weren't fighting the Germans during World War II. We were fighting the Nazis.
That would be relatively true.
Yeah, but there is no way to attack the Iranian Revolutionary Guard without hurting the Iranian people, and that's not even my criticism of the war.
Well, what do you think is being done so poorly in this war? I think this is the best executed war we've had in the last 30, 40 years.
What strategic objectives have we accomplished?
We have became the number one oil salesman in the world. That was our number one objective. We went from fifth place to number one oil salesman in the world.
We become the number one salesman in the
Yeah,
world.
we used to be number 5. Last year we were 5th in oil sales. Now we're number 1. We're becoming an energy dominant country. That's exactly what Donald Trump's
Okay.
plans were the whole time. We played 4D chess with these fools.
Okay, let me put a hypothetical to you. Okay, so say there was one nation selling 20 barrels a year. They're number one, and then number 5 is selling 5 barrels a year. Okay, number one nation gets wiped out through a zombie plague or a nuclear strike, whatever. Okay, number 3 has now become number 1, and they're still selling the same amount of barrels. Has the amount of barrels increased in this situation?
Our oil or in this story that you're telling me?
The answer is no. No,
We have sold twice as amount of oil as we have in the previous year. We've sold double the amount of oil barrels. And we're not to mention we're the number one producing oil country in the world. So why shouldn't we also be the number one salesman in the world? It just makes sense. We're the
Okay, so
only country in the world right now that's not complaining that we're running out of oil, as far as I know. Europe, the Middle East, all these countries, they're complaining that they're literally running out of oil, even though they're supposed to be oil-rich nations.
I don't remember hearing that Europe is oil rich.
They said that they were 2 weeks away from losing all their oil reserve if they didn't get a new shipment.
Okay, is it wise to take action that hurt our allies?
Well, since when are these our allies? These are sucky. These are succulents. Like they don't do anything for us. Israel is way better of an ally than Europe. I'm sorry to tell you. I don't care about Europe.
Allies.
Huh?
Most of Europe are in alliance with us.
Yes, but we help them more than they help us. Is that not true as well? Am I lying about that? Do you feel differently?
So, I mean, obviously, we would do just fine without Europe. Europe would not evaporate without us. Europe would be able to figure it out without us.
Well, sure, any country would be able to, probably, but they would struggle. Their economy would be hurting. I mean, we literally caused Canada.
We would also struggle without Europe.
I mean, we caused Canada to go into recession, and we're fine over here. We're making lots of money. Our GDP is up, and we just destroyed Canada's economy completely. And I'm proud of that because Canada has the worst fucking government in the Western Hemisphere.
Okay, so your worldview is screw our allies.
Our allies are not our allies. Everyone's not your friend just because they like you. Okay, I think we're both smart enough to realize that. We're smart enough to realize Europe isn't our ally because they like us. They're our ally because they need us. They need us far more than we need them. I think we both can agree on that.
Okay, that's not a reason to not be allies with them just because they need us more than we need them.
Well, we could still be allies with some of them. I would probably just revoke some of our relationships. I wouldn't do it to all of them. But Trump is doing a good job there. He threatened Spain. He said, we're not going to trade another single thing with Spain. Cancel all the meetings with Spain. Cancel everything. They called Donald Trump 5 hours later and they said, how much money do you need?
That sounds like something Trump would say.
I mean, that's what they said. They came on the television and said they told news station that they called up Trump and asked him how much money does he need.
I highly doubt it because that's the kind of language and speech that Trump uses.
So then why would Trump start trading with them again? That doesn't make any sense.
European leadership.
Huh? That's what the Spanish government said as well. You can look it up. You love to lose debates to Democrats. We are smart. I don't think he's a Democrat. Are you a Democrat?
I'm not a Democrat.
Okay, so he's not a Democrat. So don't call him a Democrat. U.S. crude and oil petrum. This is a super chat. U.S. crude oil and petroleum product exports surged to a record 13.6 million barrels per day in April. And America exports hit roughly 10.5 million a day in March.
Mm-hmm.
So we doubled our oil sales.
We could double our oil sale without attacking Iran.
You're right. We could have just attacked the Strait. We should have just put a giant bomb in the Strait and closed it, so it could have become number one. But this was a double-sided thing. We could have just blown up the Strait, but we decided to take out Iran so it could become number one too.
Blow up the Strait of Hormuz.
Hormuz?
Hormuz, I don't give a fuck how it's pronounced. You saying we should have just blown it up?
We should have closed it somehow. We got to become the number one in oil sales.
Mm-hmm.
We have because we make the most oil. Huh?
Because the oil supply has been restricted at the expense of our allies.
I don't care about our allies. Are you America first or are you Europe first? Are you Israel first or America first? Fuck our allies. It's America first. Is it not? Are you America first?
So if you start sabotaging your friends, stealing their money, and then slicing
these
their
aren't our
tires,
friends. We've been over that. These are not real friends.
Hey, business partners. If you start stealing their money,
we're not stealing their money. They're stealing our money. They've been stealing our money for over 20 years.
You are so ignorant on these subjects. It's really
ignorant on what? What am I missing? Don't just call someone ignorant. Tell me what I'm missing.
Okay, if we hurt our allies and we tell them to go kick rocks,
we're not
we will not have allies for much longer.
Iran did this, not us. Iran is the one that closed the Strait. Did they not? We didn't close it. They closed it.
They closed the Strait because we attacked them.
Okay, we attacked them before. They didn't close anything.
Because this was a significantly more intense attack.
And okay, if they're going to close it and it makes us richer, that's perfectly fine with me. That seems like a benefit for America.
Okay, so you do know one of the reasons they closed the Strait is because we kept attacking them, and they concluded this was the only action they could take to stop being attacked.
It didn't work, did it? They're still being attacked.
They're trying to create a scenario where they do not get attacked anymore.
Okay, then surrender. Give us a direct surrender. If they want to surrender, then why haven't they surrendered? What kind of fucking logic is this? You're telling me they don't want to be attacked. Then put your hands up, wave your white flag, and surrender over to America. It's this simple. If they didn't want to die, they surrender. Where the fuck is the surrender at? They won't surrender no how many people we kill. We can kill every single one of them and they won't surrender.
Okay, that's...
We can alive every single one of them except the leader, and they're still not going to surrender.
Here, I'm working hard to be nice here.
They won't surrender no matter what. What should we do?
So we shouldn't have attacked them the way we did, and if we were
why? They're building nuclear weapons. 87% uranium enriched. What else are they going to do with 87%
Are you
enriched uranium?
talking about the Operation Midnight Hammer, or are you talking about this most recent war?
The reason we struck again in February was because our government concluded that they were trying to dig up the Iranian uranium out of the ground and create nuclear weapons. So we continue to strike. We strike the nuclear facility again, and we also strike Tehran and killed the Ayatollah.
And we kill the Ayatollah, and we give them no reason to negotiate with us whatsoever.
Well, what are we going to negotiate? Ayatollah isn't going to surrender. We got to kill him. We asked him for 47 years to surrender. He didn't surrender. So now he has to lose his life.
Well, the Ayatollah is dead, and his son is in charge, and we haven't killed him yet.
Well, that's coming soon. I promise you that. We're just going to keep going and keep going. It won't take us very long, especially when we have Trump's power. I mean, you realize we only had 200. We had 200 Israeli jets.
You know that the Iranians have a decentralized command network set up.
They don't have a decentralized command. They have no command. They don't have anything figured out. They don't have any power. We haven't seen the new Ayatollah either. He's probably dead, but we do know that he was above ground when the bomb hit his dad's bunkers and that his lips fried off and he lost an arm and a leg.
Yeah,
he's probably dead.
Probably mutilated. Okay,
but he's kind of dead. To be honest with you, he's likely dead.
He ain't dead until he's confirmed dead.
Well, they're never going to confirm he's dead, so I guess he's going to live forever.
Okay. I'm pretty sure 100 years from now, people will conclude he's dead. But the point is, they're still able to fight. They're still able to put up a resistance. And
what resistance? We destroyed 178 of their ships.
You are so incredibly.
We destroyed their entire navy. We destroyed their entire navy. We destroyed over 178 ships in 2 seconds like that.
You think that America, we just have the push button to win. There is
we
no
do.
push button.
We literally have. Can I explain because you like talking about stuff like the strategies, right? Israel had 200 fighter jets above Iran. America, we maybe had 100, maybe 200. We have over 2,000 fighter jets that we could easily deploy over Iran. We only had a couple hundred at maximum. I believe we had about 30 or 40, and I believe Israel had about 200. So if we doubled that or tripled that, 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 fighter jets just all swarming around Iran, bombing back to back to back to back 24/7. I mean, if we did that for 30 days straight, it's over.
Why haven't we?
Because, we've been trying to negotiate with them. We've been doing a mistake because Trump has a flaw. And you going to let me respond? I'm about to criticize Trump and you're interrupting me, huh?
You interrupt me plenty, so I don't care.
Okay. Do what you want to do. I'm just trying to be respectful.
Trust me, I would be a lot meaner right now if I wasn't being respectful.
So Trump is literally trying to, he's a businessman. So he looks at everything like this. He says, okay, everyone loves money, so maybe the Iranian government loves money so much they would willing to be negotiate. But he's thinking like a businessman. He's not thinking like a killer. Because real killers know that people that don't want to, real killers don't want to negotiate. That's as simple as that. If you want someone gone, you want them gone. You don't care if they offer you $2 million, $10 million, $100 billion.
Well, it's funny. You pointed out a real problem with Trump. He only thinks of people's motivations through money.
He's trying to make us richer, and he's trying to make them richer because most countries do think like that.
The Iranian Revolutionary Guard, they are not motivated by money. They're motivated by religion.
Yes.
Trump doesn't understand that.
Probably not.
Trump does not understand that. He does not understand. He thinks everybody's motivated by money like he is.
Well, most people are. Hold on. I need to grab my charger. I left it in the other room. Give me a second. Let me go grab it.
All right. All right, chat, say something particularly stupid and I'll read it. Democracy isn't in the Constitution because only an idiot would think a republic isn't a democracy. Okay. To the person who said that, what is a republic? Tell me what a republic is.
I'm back.
Come on, tell me what a republic is. Not you, somebody in chat. What is a republic?
Republic just means rule of people. Thank you for that super chat, Sub-Zero.
Democracy.
Hmm?
Republics are representative democracy. See, exactly. It's like saying a house cat ain't a flea line because it's not a lion. It's as stupid as that.
What do you think about this guy in the comment section that says he's Mexican, but he likes my hat?
I don't care. People can be stupid in any race.
Democracy has more representatives? That's what he said. I'm just reading the comment section. I'm lost as you.
Okay. How many more representatives would we need in order for us to be a democracy?
I'm waiting for their answer. When is Aquaman 3 coming out? I didn't think there was Aquaman 2. There was an Aquaman 2?
And I've lost interest in the majority of the big budget movies.
You're a Marvel fan, aren't you?
Man, not really. I mean,
Okay. I'll ask you if you heard about Aquaman 2 because I never heard about it.
I know. I'm only thing Marvel that I watched recently was the new season of X-Men '97, which is a lot of fun. If you're a millennial and you remember watching that as a kid, I highly recommend.
It was the new X-Men movie?
No, it's a animated TV series.
Yeah,
Here,
that
hold
came
on.
out recently. It was from the 90s, right?
Come in here, George. Come in here, George. Hold on. Yes, George Washington. Come over here. Come, stop running from me. Oh.
George is your dog?
Yeah, I named him George Washington. Check him out.
I was literally going to guess that. Wow, George Washington. I didn't know George Washington was a brown man.
I was trying to think of a name for him. Then I realized I was overthinking a dog's name. And then George Washington was the first name that came to mind. So I was like, okay, he's George Washington now.
Did you adopt him or did you buy him from a pet store?
Adopt.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Respect.
Yeah, I adopted him from a friend who had 2 rescues. Well, actually, he had 1 rescue at first. And then another dog wandered onto his property, knocked up their first rescue, and then he ended up with a whole litter of puppies. And I decided to take this one off his hand. Yes, that's right.
Vinny, I hope you're hearing this. This is hilarious. Palestine is in the Bible. No matter how much Euro lies and says it's not. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how Palestine's in the Bible if Islam was created after Christianity by like 600 years. Not to mention the Arabs didn't even come into Palestine until 600 years after
Palestine
Jesus died.
being the Bible is being in the Bible or not is completely irrelevant to me when I talk about the Levant. So
The Levant. You're talking about the original native indigenous people?
when I say the Levant, I don't feel like saying Israel-Palestine, so that's why I call it the Levant.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I just call it Israel. It's always just been Israel or the Kingdom
Not
of
always.
Israel, but call it what you want. I mean, it had many different names, I guess.
Well, I mean that's a whole complicated history.
But aren't you pro-Israel? You're pro-Israel and you're pro-Ukraine, aren't you?
So Ukraine, I think, is pretty uncomplicated. The Israel-Palestine thing, I don't know. I'm still figuring out how to talk about that. But what I do think is to maybe pressure put both on the Israelis and the Palestinians in order to affect some sort of peace agreement. And I don't know how that happens. I don't know how to solve the Israel-Palestine thing.
It sounds like you kind of already see how it is. And it's, I mean, obviously one side is the aggressor, but both people are going back and forth. I mean, what else can they do? If you're constantly getting attacked, if you
Here,
know,
here, let me say this really quick. Israel has legitimate security concern. The Palestinians have a right of self-determination. And if you bring up the Bible in the discussion of Israel and Palestine, I'm just going to laugh at you and call you a nerd.
well, fair enough on that. But what about talking about the historical aspects about it? What about the historical aspects about how Gaza belongs to Israel? Do you care about that at all, or do you only care about modern day present?
I mean, I don't want to say history is unimportant, but I don't think I don't know if the Israelis want Gaza.
They really
Truly,
don't. That's the thing. I don't think they do either. But they
I
also
mean,
don't want Hamas and terrorists to live there. Because the
no,
Jews have never really lived
Hamas
in the
sucks.
Gaza Strip. There was a couple settlements, but they never really lived there because it's not very a desirable place to live in general.
Let me make this clear. Hamas is evil. Hamas removed from this planet would make the world a better place. Hamas are not the good guys. They're just like Hamas are the most evil group in this whole thing. Like I've actually looked up some of the footage and videos of October 7th. People who do that, like we don't need them. The human race doesn't need people who do stuff like that. But also, um, like there's also should be limiting principles on like what damage are we willing to accept done upon the Palestinian people in order to remove Hamas.
Well, that's the sad
And
thing. This much damage never needed to happen. My problem with it is that why did Egypt and why did Jordan and why did all these countries close down their borders and stop allowing Palestinians to come in? They never let Palestinians come in ever. This is the first war in modern history where people weren't allowed to evacuate via border. This
no,
is the only
actually,
one in history where people couldn't evacuate. Russia, Ukraine, you could leave. You can leave Russia right now. You can leave Ukraine right now. But as far as Gaza,
actually,
you cannot escape on
actually,
either side unless you
no,
pay
actually,
a fine. Go
I
ahead.
agree with you there. And actually, these free Palestine groups and like my criticism of them is not an endorsement of everything that Israel does, but they don't care about reality. But like there should be more pressure on countries like Jordan, Syria, and Egypt to take in refugees from Gaza. There should be pressure put upon them for that. And the fact that's like not even a conversation tells me a lot about how bad the discord is around Israel Palestine. Like something I want to talk about more, but it's just like it's the more you learn about it, and I've been reading some books about it. The more you learn about it, the more you learn how profoundly ignorant people are about the subject and how incredibly I don't want to say it's complex, but how difficult it is to deal with. This is not an easy situation. This is a part of the world where there's two groups of people who really don't have anywhere else to go. Like that's their home. Like and somehow like they have to find some sort of way to live together. And I don't know how that happens. I don't know if they just get tired of fighting each other or what. Like I don't know how that happens long term. I
Do you
don't know
think it's
how.
because they're bad people, or why do you think that Egypt and Jordan and Syria, all these countries, won't let their own Muslim brothers and their own Arab brothers come in? Do you think it's because they believe they're terrorists or they're radical Islamists, or why do you
They're
think the
afraid
reason
of
behind that is?
um, yeah, I would say the governments are afraid of terrorist infiltration because that has happened before with Palestinian refugees. Like Hezbollah was founded by Palestinian refugees fleeing to Lebanon. So, like, that's their concern. They're worried that they're bringing in Palestinians is going to radicalize their own citizenship, make a new terrorist group, and then they would get dragged into stupid wars with Israel. Like, that's what I believe the primary reason is. That
Did you hear what happened with Lebanon and Israel? How Lebanon allowed Israel to come in and establish a military base to take out Hezbollah because the Lebanese
I,
army
I'm not
isn't
know
big
much more,
enough?
but I do know the Lebanese government is not a fan of Hezbollah.
Yeah, there's a Christian prime minister now in Lebanon, and he's allowing Israel to come into just the south of Lebanon, just one or two areas in there, and kind of monitor
So
over Hezbollah.
Lebanon kind of has a weird government. So they have I forget what it was, but like they have a position for Sunnis, and they have a position for Shiites, and then they have a position for Christians, like in the top leadership. So like Lebanon's kind of weird. It's a weird nation.
I mean, why don't we just let Hezbollah and Hamas unalive each other completely because they're two different types of Islamists and they don't like each other? Or is that right? Because I think Hamas is Shiite and Hezbollah is Sunni. I honestly don't know. I don't pay attention to what Muslim group you're a part of. It's all kind of just, a blur to me. But if I'm not mistaken, that's correct.
They're not going to prioritize fighting each other over
And there's the
fighting.
Jews and Christians. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like that's
They rather prioritize fighting Jews or Christians. Do you
yeah.
think there's
So
a genocide going on in Gaza?
I've never called it a genocide. I would say there is widespread war crimes going on in Gaza perpetrated by the IDF, and I can say like how it's being perpetrated is one way is like they would just drop bombs on location, civilian casualties be damned, and because Palestinians don't vote, mothers of dead IDF soldiers do vote. So that's one problem. Another problem is the lack of an NCO corps. So there ain't like a proper NCO corps to keep their troops in line. That's why we saw all those
Sure.
videos.
There's a proper. One of them has gone to prison before. A couple IDF soldiers have gone to prison for what they did in the West Bank.
A couple.
A couple. I
Okay.
don't know. And there's war crimes going on both sides. I do agree that they're like. I mean, every war I think has war crimes. Do you
No,
also
I
admit
mean,
that Hamas and the Palestinians are doing war crimes? Because even the Palestinians in the West Bank, they specifically hate Gazans. They say they hate Gazans.
I
They
don't
call
know
them.
about that.
They hate them. Because they don't like Jews either. I'm not claiming that in the West Bank they like the IDF. At least the Palestinian population, they probably don't. But a lot of them also hate Gazans and the Hamas. They hate Hamas and they hate Gaza.
I know there's Gazans. I know this for a fact that there's Gazans who don't like Hamas. They still
Well, I'm
get killed in
sure.
airstrikes.
I'm sure. 81% of them back in 2005 when they elected this terrorist government in, 81% of them voted for Hamas.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was because they had a different understanding of what Hamas was at the time.
Also, because it was one of their first times ever electing a government in, and they've never had their own government. Palestine has never had their own freedom to government and to rule and to do all those kinds of stuff. So this was their first experience at leadership, and they failed like horribly. It destroyed their own people.
Well, I mean, there's still
And the
Palestinian
messed
people.
up part is the majority of those people that voted back then for the terrorists of Hamas and Gaza and all that stuff, most of those people are either dead or they
Nope.
left Gaza.
No. There hasn't been an election in Gaza since, what was it, 2006, I believe?
Yeah, 2006. That was the last election, 2005, 2006. And the people that voted back then, that was 81% of them that voted yes.
There's people in Gaza who are actually, there's people who are in their 30s who live in Gaza who never even had a chance to vote because they were like 6-year-old.
Yeah, I
When,
know. And it's not their fault.
mm-hmm. But bombs don't discriminate.
Bombs do not discriminate, and civilians die in every war. And that's kind of a horrible talking point. People will tell me, oh, children died in Gaza. Well, plenty of Jewish children died too. And America has unalived plenty of children. And American children have died plenty. So this whole shit about, oh, a child dies, so it's a genocide, or this person's a bad guy, this person's a bad guy. Every country today has murdered women and children. It's disgusting to say, but it's true. I'm not saying I agree with it. I definitely disagree with it. It's disgusting. It's despicable, but it's the casualties of war, and that's something we have to come to terms with.
So some of the evidence I've seen presented as proof that it's a genocide, like children getting blown apart. I mean, something I want to ask those people is, what do you think a bomb does to a human body? It's never pretty. Like, regardless if it's an insurgent, a combatant, or civilian, a human being, when they get hit with a bomb, get blown apart. It actually doesn't look like what it does in the video games. And, well, I know this from watching gore sites. It looks more like, and also talking to combat veterans, it looks more like torn up rags getting blown everywhere. It ain't pretty to see somebody get blown apart, regardless of how justified it was. But, as for war crimes committed in Gaza, there has been. And I saw a video of it, of an IDF tank opening fire on a civilian vehicle that was clearly backing up, trying to turn around and get away, and they just opened fire on them. Like, everybody in that tank crew should be in prison for the rest of their lives for that. That was murder, like, straight up.
I don't know what you're specifically talking about, but I'm not even going to argue from the point of there not being war crimes, because the way I look at it is every war today has war crimes. I argue it like this. I say it's not a genocide because a genocide, when you ask them what a genocide is, they say it's an ethnic cleansing. I don't think that's the actual definition of a genocide, but we'll go with it because that's what they're looking at from their point of view. They say it's an ethnic cleansing. Okay, so I'll agree with you in ethnic cleansing, even though that's not the definition at all. If this is an ethnic cleansing and Jewish people are trying to kill all Arab people, then why are there 2 million Arabs that are living inside of Israel with Israeli citizenship, with Israeli passports, that every single day they get along with Jews, they work with Jews, they work with Christians, and they never have any issues? And there's not really any Arabs or Muslims dying in Israel. They probably die from terrorism or trying to do something they're not trying to do, but they don't die for being Muslim or for being Arab. But we also have a super chat here. Go ahead, go ahead. I'll let you respond first.
Israel proper. Like, if you want to talk about the Palestinians living in Israel proper, by the way, is all the Arabs who I shouldn't say all, but the majority of Arabs who live in Israel proper are like the majority of them are descended from the same Palestinians who are in Gaza and the West Bank. So, and also,
Well, they
thing
are. Yeah,
is,
that is true. Yeah. They are Palestinian Arabs, most of them, quote unquote Palestinian.
just because Gaza isn't a genocide doesn't mean it's not a humanitarian crisis.
Well,
It doesn't
sure.
mean it
Every war
doesn't
is a
mean
humanitarian crisis.
severe war crimes and human rights violation in Gaza right now. Just because it's not a genocide doesn't mean there ain't bad stuff going on that's being perpetrated by the IDF.
Sure, but are there also bad crimes being committed by radical Islamists and Hamas that are also war crimes? It's on both
Okay.
sides, correct?
Yeah, but that's not really how we judge these things.
It's
Okay,
a
so
humanitarian crisis. I'll already agree with you. I think every war is a humanitarian crisis, don't you?
I guess if you use that perspective, but the problem is there are Palestinians who have a severe reduction of quality of life, and they're all living in tents now. Their homes have been destroyed, and like Palestinians are still dying due to the fighting. Just because Hamas commits war crimes and basically their whole uh, like motive of operation is a war crime, like basically how they do everything, their whole strategy is based off of war crime. And again, I don't defend Hamas. I think the world will be a better place without Hamas. Like, so Hamas committing war crimes does not excuse war crimes committed by Israel.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Let me read a couple of these chats right here because it's been a couple of minutes of us going back and forth. Vinny, make a bagel. Thank you, brother. Once again, he says they claim Palestine is in the Bible, and that's an obvious lie. Trying to side with Christians when their own book says to hate Christians and Jews. Quran 5:5 1 Surah Al Mahadu. It tells you to hate Christians and Jews. That's directly from the Quran.
Muslims still have human rights.
Well, yeah, sure, everyone has human rights in America, but not everywhere around the world do they have the same rights as America. But yeah. Emory here. The problem is that you could unalive 100 children in cold blood just to unalive one terrorist, and they don't care about harming civilians. Actually, the IDF is probably way more humane than other militaries, especially if you compare like the Turkish military or the American military. I don't think America or any of these countries have really ever gone door to door in a city that they're about to bomb and knock on the door and leave pamphlets and text their phone numbers and say to leave, to evacuate, and to tell them in every single which way they can to evacuate
They're
out of
knocking
certain
doors.
regions.
They're not knocking doors in Gaza.
They are
That'd be
knocking
too.
doors in Gaza. I know IDF soldiers that are even in our Discord. They'll tell you that they went door. I'm not saying every single village. I'm not saying every single where, but they have done door knocking before in Gaza.
I mean, that would be. I mean, it would be interesting to see conversations with IDF soldiers. Like, I don't think all IDF soldiers are bad, but also I've seen IDF soldiers say they have witnessed war crimes committed by the IDF. I've seen IDF soldiers say they seen like officers give like crazy orders, and then to tell them no, we're not doing that, and they just move that officer to somewhere else. Like they kind of treat IDF officers who commit war crimes kind of like Catholic priests did back in the day.
And how does our American military treat people that do war crimes?
Generally, we
No
need to
one
be
cared
better.
about the guy that
But
Go ahead.
we
Go ahead.
have put a lot of we have put Americans in prison for committing war crime, and I promise you, it's more
Not
than the
recently. Not recently when we killed women and children. Not in the last 20, 30 years. Not that I know of.
um I highly doubt that that's true.
We didn't put Barack Obama in prison when he killed a 16-year-old American man with a drone, did we? Because that's unconstitutional. You can't execute someone without a trial. And not unless they're a terrorist.
That wasn't an execution, that was a military operation.
It was execution on American soil. They were executed with a drone strike.
That was not on American soil.
That was in America. One American citizen got blown up and killed.
Not in America.
Where was it then?
See, what was it, Syria?
I have to have a hard time believing that, but I can look it up.
But are you saying we've done drone strikes on Americans in America?
Maybe it's not in America. Let's see. Obama drone strike 16-year-old. It would make more sense if it wasn't in America. You got a good point there. Just logically thinking. Let's see where it was. Where did they strike? He was born in Denver, Colorado. What country was he? Let's see. Get the likes way up there, though. We almost got 200 people in here now. Yeah, he was unalived in Yemen.
Yemen, yeah. That seems about right, but yeah, like
The
if
kid wasn't a terrorist. He was a U.S. citizen and he wasn't a terrorist.
well, his dad was definitely a terrorist.
Sure, but why did they kill him? You
They
can't
were
kill a
trying to
U.S. citizen without. You can't
they were
execute a U.S. citizen without fair trial. It doesn't matter if you kill him outside of the U.S. or not. It makes no difference. I can't just capture a prisoner and unalive them in Africa and say that it's constitutional because I brought that U.S. citizen to
not even
Africa.
remotely the same.
Huh?
That is not even remotely the same. They chose to be there.
Okay. Did they choose to get blown up as an American citizen?
If you are American and you choose to take up arms against America, the American military will come after you. And they will kill you.
If you what?
If you are an American and you take up arms
He did
against
take up
America,
arms. He was innocent. He was literally just eating at a restaurant. Never unalived anyone. Never took up arms. You can look it up this
what
yourself.
did you tell me about his dad?
Huh? His dad has nothing to do with it. Just because your dad's a criminal, does that mean that you should be hurt?
If my dad was about to nuke New York and I was
Was
standing next to
this guy's dad about to nuke New York?
I'm giving a absurd hypothetical.
Absurd. Keyword absurd.
Well, like, I don't think you even understand the situation because there was a legal discussion. They even talked to the Attorney General, Eric Holden. Like, Obama had a conversation with Eric Holden, like, if this was a legal strike or not. They didn't just do this willy nilly. Like, they were debating this. They were having a conversation about this. They're all like, is this a legal strike? Is this not? Like, they didn't just do it willy nilly. They weren't just all like the way you guys presented, like, oh, let's just kill a 16-year-old American just because, dup. Like, this was a military operation. They were weighing the legal, ethical, and moral implications of this operation.
Okay, so if it's fine to unalive an innocent 16-year-old, then it's fine to accidentally bomb a child's school.
Okay.
Because we were weighing the ethics, we were seeing what's good or bad, and we were trying to take out the leaders and the military base right next to the school. So that wasn't our fault. That was just a slip up. We don't even really know if I don't know if we even admitted to that or not. Let's see
Trump has said that the Iranians somehow got their hands on a Tomahawk missile and blew up that school just to make us look bad.
Tomahawks are sold all over around the world. That's not a missile just strictly used by America.
Used by our allies. Are you saying the Iranians stole a Tomahawk?
Russia and China have Tomahawk missiles too.
Russia. Okay, look that up. Does Russia and China have Tomahawk missiles?
What countries? Let's see. What
Does
countries?
Russia and China have Tomahawk missiles?
I'm gonna ask it what all the countries have. Because if it's not Russia and China, it's probably one of their other allies.
It's
We'll
almost
find
certainly
out.
our allies that have Tomahawk missiles. Iran is not our allies.
We did door-to-door military operations in Syria against separatist Kurd terrorists on our own peril and civilian lives.
Do
Started three
you
days later.
actually do you
Sorry.
actually believe that Trump is being truthful and honest when he
Yes.
said the Iranians somehow got their
Yes.
hands on the
Yeah.
Tomahawk missiles just to blow up a girls' school?
Yes. I don't think it's I don't know if it's 100% correct, but I believe it could be a possibility.
It's fucking ridiculous. That is a fucking ridiculous scenario.
I don't know.
That is absolutely absurd
Let's
and
find out how many
ridiculous.
countries have tomahawks. We're gonna find out right now. Let's see. Germany, Australia, United Kingdom. Hold on. All of our allies, but it can still be sold on the illegal arms market regardless. I mean, we're both smart enough to know that.
That is the idea. Well, and also wait, they've already been looking into this, and they've been finding that they've been using AI to identify targets, and then they just have a human at the end of it to rubber stamp it, and that AI incorrectly identified that girl's school as a military target because it was close to a military base. And at one point, it was a part of the military base, but then like they turned into a girls' school, and it was a girls' school. They know because they had paintings on the side of the building made by the students. So, like,
Have you ever
again,
seen it from a GPS? I've seen it. I didn't see any paintings when I look at the images from a satellite imagery. I didn't see any paintings at all. Because I actually
well,
looked at with satellite
you
imagery.
believe that it's realistic to believe the Iranians somehow got their hands on a Tomahawk missile
Absolutely.
just to
If they
blow
can
up.
possibly build a nuke, they can build a tomahawk or buy a tomahawk. It's not that crazy of an idea.
Okay. You do know we invented the nuclear bomb in the 1940s. The Tomahawk missile wasn't invented until decades later.
Okay, sure, but it's been around for decades, has it not?
It has been around for a while, but like the
Either way,
idea.
even if it was us, I really could care less because why would the Iranian government have a girls' school, literally in front of their military base, protecting it from any incoming rockets? What fucking sense does that make? You can look up the satellite imagery you want. Literally, the entrance to this military base, in front of the military base, is the school. You drive past the school, which is directly connected with a direct hallway to the military base. This guy says,
Mhm.
how much equipment did we leave behind during the withdrawal? We already talked about that. Are you talking about in Afghanistan? We left behind billions.
Too many.
We could have leveled the cities like they did. West couldn't accuse of us anything, even if they were tough. They were against our operations. I mean, you guys were just harming, attacking the Kurds. I mean, you have a long history of just slaughtering and massacring Kurds, right? I don't want to get into it because I don't know nothing about y'all beef with the Kurdish. I just know you have a long beef with the Kurdish in Turkey, so. But you're saying it's okay that Barack Obama killed a 16-year-old because we had to take the risk of doing it. But when Trump, killed the Ayatollah, you know, it's bad that we might have done a oopsie. That's kind of double standard. You're not being fair across the board. You're not keeping the same energy when it comes to Trump.
They were both intentional acts. They were not oopsies.
They're what? Okay, so both Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Donald Trump and every president in the last 40 years has killed civilian women and children.
That's not even my criticism of the Iranian war. My Okay. Do you know what we would have to do to win the war at this point?
We're already winning. Like I said, we could finish this in a month. There's no doubt in my mind with this. We
Why not?
pressured Iran with less than 200 jets. If we had 2,000 jets, they would be devastated.
Why haven't we?
Because we're trying to negotiate before we do utter destruction.
Why are we trying to negotiate if we could just win?
Because negotiations is always better than murder. Saving
So
lives is always better than murder if we can. I don't want to have to harm someone's life if they come into my house and I don't have to take their life, or they come into my property and they trespass and I don't have to take their life. I'm not going to. I'm going to try to negotiate first. I'm not going to go to instantly. I mean, I might draw my firearm, but I'm not just going to mag dump on them all because I see some stranger walking up to my property. I'm going to try to negotiate and see what they want and what they're talking about. The same thing in this
not even
situation. We don't
comparable.
just mag dump on them. We don't just bomb everything. Huh?
That's not comparable. If somebody is shooting at me, I'm not going to negotiate with them. I'm going to shoot them in the face.
Well, I'm shooting at you. They're not shooting at us, are they? I mean, they are when we moved over into the Middle East. They're attacking American military bases.
They're locking down the Strait of Hormuz. They're
Okay, so
shooting
your argument is we should have done complete devastation. Then is that your argument?
You are saying we could just win.
So you don't think we can win? You think
Now, I think
Iran has a stronger military than America? You
I
think
think
Iran has a stronger military than us? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying you don't know how these things work.
I think I do. I've seen Afghanistan. It took us a month to capture the entire country. Less
And we
than a month.
lost the war anyways.
We didn't lose. We lost our. We didn't complete our objective because of Biden's poor pullout. We
That means
won
we
the
lost.
war. We won the death ratio. We just didn't stabilize the government like Trump wanted. I don't say we didn't lose. How did we lose? On what metric did we lose? If you have a goal, if you're trying to do something, it doesn't mean that you lose.
During World War II,
It means you
Russia,
tried to do something, huh?
during World War II, Russia lost more troops than Germany. Who won the war?
Well, that's because they seized their land. They defended their land, did they not? Iran cannot defend its land. Even if America lost more troops, or even if Iran, Iran is able to defend their troops, their objective is to close the Strait of Hormuz. Have they completed their objective? Because as far as the objective goes, our only objective is to open the Strait of Hormuz or have ships go through when we want them to go through. I won't even say open it, because I don't think that's our objective. Our objective is to bring ships through when we want to. And so far we're able to do that. Their objective is to stop us. Have they been able to stop us? They lost. If we're gonna do that game, we're gonna say they failed at their objectives. If they failed at their objectives and we failed at our objectives, who wins? Is that like a stalemate?
Yes.
Okay, so then you would say Afghanistan's a stalemate.
You just exactly described a stalemate. A
A
stalemate
stalemate.
is
Okay,
two
you can argue
sides
that Afghanistan.
their objectives.
If
That's
you
a
want to
stalemate.
okay, if you want to argue Afghanistan's a stalemate, I'll agree with you. Afghanistan is a stalemate.
We're talking about Iran.
Iran is not a stalemate. That's an
Iran.
ongoing conflict.
Okay, so for Iran to win, all they need to do is survive. They just need to.
No, they have their objective. They have to beat us. They don't just have to survive. That's not their objectives. They have objectives and they have to accomplish them. Just like we have objectives, we have to accomplish them. Either
Beat
we're
us
basing
how?
it off, either we're basing it off objectives, or we're basing it off kill death ratio. If you're saying they have to stay alive, then you're basing it on kill death ratio.
The kill death ratio. That's Call of Duty logic, and that's
Yeah,
stupid. That's
I
Call of Duty
agree.
logic,
There's
and it's
multiple
stupid.
factors that account for it.
All they need to do, all that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard needs to do, is be in charge by the time the war is over.
Well, that's not
That's
going to
all
happen. I can guarantee that's not going to happen.
Okay, that
I
is
was
what's going
right
to
when I was correct when I said Donald J. Trump is not going to give $300 billion to Iran and we're going to go back into the war. I was correct when I predicted Venezuela and I said we're going to do a
So
military
it's funny.
operation in Venezuela. My
I
predictions for
actually
Venezuela were right. My predictions for Iran were
I
right.
looked up the memorandum of understanding, giving
It's been canceled.
Giving Iran that money was explicitly a part of the understanding. Now, granted that the whole deal fell apart predictably because Donald Trump is a fucking idiot.
They're the ones that attacked us. How does that have to do anything with Trump? We literally got attacked and bombed, and you're blaming it on Trump. That's fucking idiotic. Someone bombs America, and you say Trump's an
Trump
idiot.
started the
What the fuck? No, Trump did not start this war. It's been going for 47 years. Okay, what do you consider this? If I move 100 guns into your backyard tomorrow, do you think that means me and you are going to war? That probably means we're going to war, right? That's an act of war. That's starting a war against you. Would you agree or no? Yes or no?
So moving troops to a border, it's not an act of war. It
Yes, it
can't
is.
like
Moving troops to a border is an act of war. That's one of the reasons the Russian. Yes, it
no,
is.
it's
That's one of the reasons Russia invaded Ukraine because NATO
not.
troops were moved to Russia's border.
No, that's not what happened. Like Ukraine was not even a part of NATO.
Lithuania is
Still
part of
not a part of
NATO.
NATO.
Lithuania is part of NATO, and Lithuania is bordering Russia with NATO troops, which
What does that have to
antagonize
do with
Russia.
anything?
Huh?
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Well,
What
Russia
do you
sent
think
drones into Lithuania. Russia showing aggression towards Lithuania. Russia showing aggression towards NATO and Ukraine, and they agreed literally in the 90s not to move. We're going into too many things at once. We're going into too many things at once. We got to stay on topic. What are we talking about here?
we're talking about Iran.
Okay, let's stay on Iran then. I don't want to go on a tangent about Russia and Ukraine. Wars are not a scoreboard game. Which has the more kills and the numbers win? You declared war on Vietnam to stop the spread of communism, to stop the communism rule in Vietnam. They became communist. You lost. They're not communist today, actually. That's funny that you mentioned that. They have a communist quote unquote party, but they're operating in
Communists
capitalism.
won that war. The
Huh?
communists won that war. Just because they're no longer a communist nation doesn't mean they didn't win the war.
Well, they didn't win when they begged us for a peace treaty. How did they win? How is
Yes,
begging
for
us
a
for a
peace
peace treaty
treaty.
winning? Oh, we're begging for a
What's the
peace treaty, and
tax?
then you're gonna say they won. That's fucking hilarious. You know what happened in Yochima Trail, or what is it called? Yochima Trail, Yochima Road. Do you remember that? What happened in Vietnam back then?
No, I don't because
We
I wasn't alive.
massacred them. We slaughtered them. This was in December of, I think, this was December. I don't know what year exactly, but basically the Viet Cong came to us and begged us for a peace treaty. It wasn't on the news. It wasn't all over the world. This was behind closed doors. This is a historical fact that you can look up today. So anytime a country begs for a peace treaty, I would automatically say they lost.
No,
I
look
would
it up.
automatically say they lost.
You're in a better position to Google things in these debates than I am. That's just because I'm
I'm not
technologically.
using Google. I'm just using what I know on based on the Vietnam history.
Well, what you're saying contradicts every military historian that I've seen spoke on the subject. You're the only
Military historians don't really say that we
you
lose Vietnam.
are
The
people
people
I
that
hear
started the
say this.
lie, the people that started the lie that we lost Vietnam are the same people that were spitting all over the Vietnamese soldiers when they came home in San Francisco and California. These were mostly liberals and leftists at the time that were literally spitting on our Vietnamese soldiers. They were calling them pieces of shit. They said they lost the war, and that's how they propagated this lie that the American people lost the war because there was hundreds of thousands of them protesting way before this war ended. They said that we lost it. So this was just a major consensus by hippies that America lost Vietnam. I don't think we lost any war. At the best scenario, it was a stalemate.
Okay. Let's see. You said a lot there. A lot of it's irrelevant. The protesters. That's irrelevant. Like what is relevant is The
They
Tet
created the
Offensive?
narrative. They created the narrative that we lost Vietnam.
Well,
Vietnam is a
actually,
communist market.
I would
Vietnam is
say
a
the
communist. Go ahead. Go
Viet
ahead.
Cons, the Viet Cons did that better than any American could have. But like the Tet Offensive was the big thing that caused Americans to lose support for the war.
Sure, I'm sure it was not a very popular war. It's probably the most unpopular war in history. That's why I don't like when people shit on the veterans that went to Vietnam or say that we lost, because I don't
I
think we
have
lost any war, and I think that's a dishonor to
I have
Americans to even.
never been disrespectful to a Vietnam veteran.
I'm not saying you
I'm
have,
just
but I think we
saying
lost the war.
it's not being disrespectful to say we lost the war. We
I
lost the
think
war.
I'll say it this way. I will say that the common consensus during the time, and probably now for a lot of people that don't look at the history and what actually happened, the major consensus is that we quote unquote lost the war. But how was that propagated? That was propagated through all the leftists and all the communists that kept repeating the same lie over and over again because they were hippies, they were drug users, and they were people that hated America. And those people later grew up to be literally the biggest pieces of garbage, known as the baby boomers.
Okay. Well, baby boomers, majority of male baby boomers voted for Trump. That's
Okay.
your.
I mean, I
That's
don't.
the
What's the
primary
where did you get
basis
that
of
from?
MAGA
I mean, we
is
can look it
elderly
up.
is elderly.
Baby boomer voter base. Democrat or Republican? Let's see. We can find out. That's an interesting thing. Let's see. Hold on.
I believe baby boomer women did not vote for Trump, but baby boomer men did vote for Trump. And
I have a hard time believing that. I think the baby boomers are probably pretty left leaning.
okay.
Okay, it's not that big of a difference. It's only 2% more leaning Republican than Democrat. So I will say you proved me wrong, staying incorrect. But
I don't know. I live with a baby boomer conservative, and he says pretty ridiculous, silly things that Trump is the greatest president ever.
well, that would drive someone crazy, especially if you didn't agree with them. But anyway, your pullout from Saigon was like your pullout from Afghanistan. You dropped helicopters from aircraft carriers to save more people from Viet Cong. I mean, cool, I guess. I mean, if we saved people, I mean, I don't see how that's a bad thing.
Well,
Boomers are
you know,
like politicians
like
like Pelosi.
let's focus on some more. So, the pullout of Vietnam was actually incredibly chaotic. Like people.
Vietnam wasn't even a war to begin with. I mean, people say it's a Vietnam War, but we haven't declared war since World War II. So even if you want to say we lost, it still wasn't a war on paper.
Okay, that's stupid. So, anyways, what I'm saying is the pullout of Vietnam was incredibly chaotic, and also the South Vietnamese government collapsed, and then the North Vietnamese government executed them all. Like our allies just immediately crumbled after we left. Like people were literally climbing onto helicopters as they were taking off. You can see footage of this online. Like people were falling from the helicopters trying to get onto them.
The same
Like
thing happened in Afghanistan.
so the
And
fuck what?
we would have never been, speaking about our shitty allies, we would have never been in Vietnam if it wasn't for France in the first place. This was never even our war. This was France colonization. That's all this was. But it was also, we went in there to fight against communism, but we weren't there to fight a war. The French were in there long before we were. What's up,
So
Aaron? How you doing, brother?
your answer to these criticism you can't debunk is to blame others.
What do you want me to debunk? I'm not blaming others. I'm just telling you the history of it. What do you want me to debunk?
My claim that we lost the war, and my evidence is the sheer chaotic pullout of Vietnam.
Well, first, it wasn't a war. Second off, a chaotic pullout doesn't make you lose automatically. What if you
No,
complete every single objective? What if you complete everything objective, no one died, and everything's perfect, and you pull out and someone's hanging off your helicopter? You automatically lose?
hold on. What is a war?
I mean, a war is something that's an act of war is passed by Congress. It has to be voted on. It's a long term conflict, not something that just goes on for a couple months or just like a year or two. Normally, not
Wars
longer than a year.
can go on for a couple months in a year or two.
Well, if there's the time doesn't really matter, but usually it goes on for a couple years, and there has to be a declaration of war.
Definition of war is absurd and silly.
Well, every country in the world agrees on this one thing for war. For there to be a war, there has to be a declaration of war. Japan, China, Russia, there has to be a declaration of war for there to be a war. They all agree on the same thing. Even Russia, they eventually had to do the declaration of war against Ukraine, even though they initially said it was a
Russia doesn't
military
call it.
operation.
Russia calls it a special military operation. They
No,
don't
you
call
can
it.
Google it. Wait, Google it. 2022, Russia announced a full-blown war against Ukraine. I mean, I've looked into all this stuff
A
before.
special military operation. They don't
They
call
don't
it a war.
anymore. They don't anymore. I'll Google it right now and show you. I've Googled it. Does Russia call the conflict with Ukraine a war? It says in 2022. Here, I'll show you. Does Russia call Ukraine for a war? Here we go. Let's find out. Let's see. However, the Kremlin has increasingly acknowledged the reality and stated public that the operation has become a war. Look, straight from Google. It says, however, rhetoric subsequently shifted. The Kremlin has increasingly acknowledged the reality of fighting and the official stating publicly that the operation has become a war due to the involvement of the West, despite the acknowledgement in political discourse.
You're using a Google summary.
Okay, that is from Reuters. Do you want me to pull up the Reuters article? Here's the Reuters article. Here you go.
I want to
Right from
see.
there.
Well, you know what?
Here,
No.
look.
We're getting
Here's the
distracted.
source. Look. No, here's the source.
I have a more important question.
Go ahead.
I have a more important question. If Russia continued to refuse to acknowledge it that it's a war, would that mean it's not a war?
Probably not. It would probably. I mean, I don't know. Probably a military operation. Technically speaking, yes, it would be a military operation.
That.
I know.
How can you have this?
The only one that can declare a war is the government. You can't just declare a war and say it's a war because you want it to be a war. You can't declare a war for another country.
You are so profoundly uneducated on these subjects. I don't even know how to have a debate with you.
I'm just answering you the actual definition of war, according to the Russian government, according to the American government.
You don't know, you don't understand.
I'm talking about the
things.
federal definition from a country standpoint. I'm not talking about Webster's dictionary. If you want to talk about Webster's dictionary of war, you can look that up too. A war is defined as a state of unusual, open, declared armed hostility between states or nations. That's super broad. That can literally mean anything. That means aggressive talking between two nations could be considered a war. I mean, hell, some people considered the tariffs to be a war. They said that we're going an economic war against China. I mean, there's many things you can call war. You can just go around calling everything war. If I push you down the stairs, you can say we're at war now. I mean, it's a very broadly used term.
I would say a war is two state actors taking armed conflict with each other. That means shooting at each other with weapons.
Okay, so what if one police officer goes into another country and there's a conflict between two guys and they shoot at each other? Is that a war?
What?
You said two states shooting at each other. Okay, one police officer shoots at another police officer. Is that a war?
No.
Okay, then it's a very broad definition that not even you can really define.
Stupid hypothetical.
Okay, so how many people need to shoot at each other for it to be a war?
What exact number?
There's not an exact number. It's a very broad definition. Anything can be labeled as a war.
Not anything can be labeled as a war. That's you are you're not clarifying a definition of war.
Some people label the Venezuela thing a war.
No, you're muddying the water so that Trump doesn't look as bad.
I read you the definition and I literally told you.
You're
War
doing
is
this
defined as a
because
state of
your support
usually
for
open
Trump
and
is
wait. Here we go. No,
no.
according to here's a different dictionary.
You're doing
Merriam-Webster.
this because your ego is connected to your support of Trump.
My ego is not connected to my support of Trump. I'm right. Would you like me to explain
Yes.
how I'm right? It says right here, for a war to happen, armed hostility has to be declared by a country. So to be at war, according to Memorandum Webster's dictionary, they have to declare war against another country. That is directly from the dictionary. So how am I wrong? How are you right and I'm wrong when the dictionary says I'm right and you're wrong? It's not about being right or wrong. I just want to know who's right. I don't care about being right. I'm just reading what I'm reading.
No, you're trying to defend Trump. So
This has nothing to do with Trump. I'm just trying to talk about wars. This is Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iran. War is
yep.
defined as a state of usually open and declared armed hostility. So a military
So
operation could be considered a war, but two people just shooting at each other is not a
so
war, and it has
let's
to be
say
declared as a war.
the whole world united, you nuke the United States, and then did a ground invasion of America, but they never declare war. Is that a war?
Well, according to Webster's dictionary, is a declared armed hostile conflict.
Okay, that is unbelievably stupid. So,
I'm reading you from
so
Webster's dictionary. So you think the
armed.
dictionary is stupid? Do you think the dictionary is stupid?
I don't care what the dictionary says. What most people
That's where you get
recognize
education from.
what most people recognize as a war is two military groups taking armed conflict to each other. Vietnam, it was the Viet Congs and the United States
Okay,
military.
what if American soldiers are in Japan and they're on a Japanese military base and they have a scruffle and an armed conflict against a couple Japanese people? Is that a war?
Obviously not.
Well, that's what you just described to me. That would fit what your description.
So you think a bunch of Marines getting drunk in Okinawa and getting into a fist fight is the same
I mean, what if they're
as
picking up a gun? It could be shooting too. It doesn't even have to be just be a fist fight. It could be guns. It could be bombs. It could be knives. You said armed, so I'm assuming armed. You said it has to be an armed conflict, so I said okay, we'll arm them as well in this scenario. And time on my side said fucking wild that rifleman would call anyone uneducated. He says get real, bro. That's straight from Tom.
okay.
International conflict. That's what someone said it would be called. Someone else says this guy has a severe case of
There's civil
derangement
wars.
syndrome. Huh?
There's civil wars all the time.
What simple
Civil wars are
wars?
not
Civil
international
wars.
conflicts. So
No,
whatever
they
that
were
person
talking
says,
about the. No, they were talking about the scenario when you said all the countries invaded America. That would be an international conflict, or that would be
it would be
like that wouldn't even be a world war. That would just be an international conflict.
that would be a war.
International conflict. They didn't declare war.
Graham,
I'm giving
you
you the dictionary
are
definition. I don't know what
you
other definition to give you other
are
than just from the dictionary. There's nothing I can give you.
Graham.
If there's a
You are
definition from a dictionary you can give me that's better, I will gladly take it.
promoting a definition of war that promotes the idea that several years people shooting at each other with anti-armor weapons, artillery, bombardment, nuclear weapons, all the weapons can technically not
No,
be a
because
war.
there would definitely be a declared armed hostile conflict. It doesn't even have to be declared. I mean, it doesn't say it has to be declared by the host. No, it says it has to be declared by the armed hostile nations. I don't know. That's the definition. It also broadly refers to a period of such conflict, a state of hostility or antagonism, or a struggle between opposing forces for a particular goal. Okay, that's a very broad definition. Nuclear weapons, it would
You
not be a war. It would be
are
just a
you
consideration.
you're Your single determination if it's a war or not is if Congress declares it or not. That is a stupid definition.
Is that the legal definition of war? According to the United States law, according to our constitution, according to our country? Is that it or not?
Oh, you do know nobody goes by this definition you're going by. Nobody.
Well, okay, I go by the United States. I don't go by everyone else.
Only people I see go by this definition are people in your community.
Okay,
That's
what
it.
about Libya? There's
First
plenty
time
of
I've seen
Obama
this.
supporters that said the exact same thing, that none of Obama's bombings of Libya or Syria or any of these places were, a war. They all said they were a military operation. So how am I different from any of the Democrats that said the same thing back then?
Okay. I'm not here to defend Obama, so whatever.
Well, were you a fan of Bill Clinton?
I couldn't say. I was like.
Who are you a fan of? What politician do you like the most in 2026?
In 2026? I would say right now I probably like Thomas Massey and Rakana.
Thomas Massey, even after he got grape allegations against him? I thought you said you don't like people with grape allegations on them.
Trump has more evidence against him than
He doesn't
Thomas
have any
Massey.
evidence. Neither does Massey. They have the same amount of evidence, which is none.
Okay.
I mean, that's just facts. If there was evidence, then why ain't they in jail? Thomas Massey's not in jail. Trump's not in jail. What's the difference? More evidence? So you don't care about grape allegations.
Trump
What
was
about
Trump was found civilly liable in a New York court of rape.
Yeah, so 0 criminal charges. No, it wasn't of grape. It was of sexual harassment or sexual assault. It was not grape. So you're lying again.
Sexual
You're wrong
assault.
again. Yeah, sexual assault is different than grape. Sexual assault can be this. This is sexual assault. Tapping my arm like that is considered sexual assault. Grape is completely different.
So what about sticking your fingers in a woman's yuha?
He was never charged with that, but that would also be, I don't know how that would be charged with.
That's responsibly liable for. He digitally penetrated a woman.
Okay, well, what about Tampon Tim literally freeing a convicted chomo? Criminally convicted, not in a civil court case for money, an actual criminal. Yes, the Democrats are freeing rapists. The party you support supports rapists actively. Literally actively supports rapists. This guy raped a 10-year-old girl over 10 times, and he got pardoned out of prison by a Democrat.
Okay.
And yet there's no evidence of Trump ever doing any sexual crimes. Trump has 0 charges for any sexual crimes.
What do you think of Ken Paxton getting a child rapist out of prison?
Who the hell is Ken Paxton? He's the guy in Texas, right? I don't know nothing about that guy, and I can look that up. I don't think that's true.
Well, I don't know nothing about this case you're bringing up.
Ken Paxton, did he free? I don't think that's true either, but I don't support Ken Paxton either, but you actively do support Tampon Tim. You even told me that if you would vote again, you would vote for Kamala Harris and Tampon Tim.
Absolutely would, and wouldn't even feel slightly guilty about it.
Okay, so you actively vote for a Chomo protector, so you have nothing wrong with voting for Chomos. Because Tampon Tim would be the vice president. When you vote Kamala, you'd be voting Tampon Tim.
I don't even know anything about this case you're talking about.
No, he's never freed anyone. I Google searched it right now. Did Ken Paxton free a Chomo? No, he pardoned, or he had allegations for years, but he's never been charged.
He was charged. That's
okay,
why.
Yeah. He was. It says in 2026 he took a plea deal, a misdemeanor for indecent assault. I don't support that man either. Is he even Republican?
Ken Paxton, he is Republican.
Well, he's not gonna.
He's actually
I don't know too much about him, huh?
He's actually impeached by Texan Republicans.
Okay, so he was literally impeached by Republicans then. What are you complaining about? Tampon Tim has been nothing but propped up.
Ken Paxton.
I don't know if Trump supports him or not. That's kind of irrelevant. You guys support a literal Chomo protector. A literal Chomo protector who is in office, literal government office.
Can you look up if Trump supports Kim Paxton or not?
I mean, Trump just supported all the Republican candidates in midterms for general, but sure. But this was before the charge. He just
No.
recently took a
Trump
plea deal.
supported Kim Paxton in the primary.
Yes, before he got charged. He was recently, literally in the last 2 months, in the last month or so, literally pleaded out guilty.
Kim Paxton was impeached years ago.
Okay, well, just charged in 2026 with this crime.
What, you're talking about the child rapist?
Time says no. Texas Attorney General Paxton has never been personally charged with sexual assault, but it says, what does it say?
I never accused him of being charged with sexual assault. What are you talking about? I never accused him of being
What are you
charged.
accusing him of? What are you accusing him of? I'm confused. I don't know this.
Out of prison.
I
got him out
googled
of
that and
prison.
it didn't happen. Oh, you're talking about Hoffman. No, he didn't get him out of prison. He got the prosecutors to downgrade the felony to a misdemeanor.
Yeah. Raping a child.
He's a lawyer, is he not? Is he a lawyer or not? Is he a lawyer or not? Okay, he's the attorney general, so he has experience in law. His job is to decide people's crimes.
He got
You're not a judge. You don't get to decide. Huh?
A child out of a prison sentence.
Huh? He never raped a child. That's incorrect. That's just not his charges. There's no evidence of that. The thing that he did do was an indecent assault. He was naked and assaulted someone, which is wrong, but there was no rape. There was none of that stuff. It's 100% wrong. I'm condemning it.
I never accuse Kim Paxton of being a...
No, we're talking about Hoffman, the guy that he pardoned. We're talking about Hoffman. That's the guy he pardoned.
He didn't pardon him. He got him out of prison sentence.
No, he didn't get him out of prison, and he didn't pardon him. He lessened his crime. He lessened his sentencing.
He got him out of a prison sentence. He didn't.
No, he still has.
He did not go to
first-time
prison
offenders. Okay, answer this question. Do first-time sex offenders normally get sent to prison? Yes or no?
If they rape a child, absolutely.
No, they do not. Unfortunately, that's not statistically true. And it's disgusting and it's horrible, and I disagree with it, but statistically, that's not true. Most people with clean criminal records that assault children do not get sent to prison. Unfortunately, it's fucked up. It's disgusting. It's a fucked up legal system, but statistically speaking, that's what happens. And it's literally a thing. It's literally a thing. I mean, you want me to look up how many of them actually get sent to prison the first time?
Raping a child, you will go to prison if you get proven guilty in a court of law.
He didn't get proven guilty of that. He got his charges lessened down because there's no evidence of that.
If you're proven guilty of raping a child in court, and
he
it's
was
your
not
first time, you go to
normally
prison.
the guys plead out. The jury pleads out. We do pleads all the time. Like, stop being a hypocrite. He just literally took a plea deal. He got offered a plea deal by Paxton, and he took the plea deal. So what do attorney generals do? They offer plea deals. So are you going to criticize every other attorney general in this country, including in mostly Democrat states where they let off chomos all the damn time? I mean, if you want to look at statistically, California, New York, all these blue states free way more child molesters than any other states. And it's disgusting. It's truly disgusting. They've even passed laws in California that help child molesters.
Okay, there was a primary going on.
Paxton is doing his job. He's not protecting child molesters. He didn't pardon any of them. All he did was give a plea deal. Huh?
He did protect the child molester.
He gave him a plea deal. He didn't protect him. He's doing his job.
He is not in prison thanks to Kim Paxton.
Most child molesters don't go to prison on the first time. It's fucked up, isn't it? Why do they all get plea deals? Look at Jeffrey Epstein. Look at Jeffrey Epstein. He didn't even go to prison, and he did way worse than what this person's getting accused of. Jeffrey Epstein got a probation deal, and probation was a standard deal for this kind of shit.
Ended up working in the Trump administration.
Huh?
The person who got Epstein a sweetheart deal.
Yes, because
In-
lawyers are lawyers. It doesn't matter who they represent. Do you think because a lawyer represents a criminal that lawyer is a criminal?
no.
And what the fuck relevance does this have to do? Lawyers are there to do their job. Everyone deserves the right to defend themselves in court, do they not?
So you're saying Epstein shouldn't have been in
I'm
prison because he had.
saying that every lawyer in the world has a job to do. Sometimes they defend criminals, and it doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that they're a criminal. All it means is that they believe the next guy has a right to fight his case and state his case.
I believe the guy was an attorney general when he got Epstein the sweetheart deal.
Okay, how is that relevant? Every attorney general does this. Here, let's pull up actual rates. Let's actually pull up actual rates because now I'm curious. How many chomos get sentenced to prison?
Used to be more Pacific. I don't know if the AI.
First
I don't know.
charge ever. Let's see.
I don't know if the AI recognized Chomo.
Well, I put the real word. Okay. Let's see. Around 60% of the convictions end up with them in the local prison.
60%.
60%.
Full. Well, that's still more than half.
Okay, here's a perfect one. Out of 100 cases, 66 were officially charged. 49 were convicted. Out of 49 cases that were convicted of child chomos, only 26 were sent to prison. Isn't that fucked up? Only 26 were sent to prison. Out of 49, only 26 were sent to prison. They were all convicted of raping children. So I agree. If you want to change the legal code for every single time we get a first-time offender, he should automatically be sent to prison no matter what. No second chances. I would be all with you. But what I'm trying to tell you is they're just following the legal standards for first-time offenders. It doesn't matter what kind of, if you stab someone and you're a first-time offender, you're only going to get 10, 15 years. But if you've done it multiple times, then you're going to get life in prison. It's fucked up. I think those people should get hit with the books. If you stab someone, you should get life in prison. No exceptions. No exceptions.
If you
Because I know someone that got stabbed that was my family member, and the person only got about 15 years in prison, and they almost died. And that was all because it was his first criminal charge. And he stabbed a woman. He stabbed a woman.
About that case, I don't know the laws of where that happened at or anything like that. But but also 15 years is not nothing. Like, I agree it should have been longer, but 15 years is not nothing.
I agree, 15 years is not nothing either, but if you stab a woman, you should get life in prison. There's no exceptions. There should be no exceptions. Just like if you do something to children, there should be no exceptions. Life in prison instantly. No second chances. None of that bullshit. Second chances are bullshit. Most people that go to prison do not deserve a second chance. Especially if it's for a violent crime. If it's for a violent crime, they 100% do not deserve a second chance. If it's a non-violent crime, if it's a white-collar crime, sure, we'll give them a second chance.
I'm not here to argue criminal justice, but you're promoting a ridiculous idea that if you rape a child and that's proven in a court of law, they would go easy on you because it's your first time.
It's not crazy. It's not untrue. It's 100% factual. I just gave you the statistics. Out of 49 people that were convicted for child rape, only 26. It's not even prison. This is prison or jail. Only 26 got sent to prison or jail. Out of 49 people, only 26 got sent to prison or jail.
Plenty of child molesters who are spending years and decades in prison, and it's their first time offense. Actually,
yeah, I'm sure, especially black and brown people.
Ted Bundy, when he was arrested, that was the first time he was arrested.
Yeah, but he was charged with like 100 murders. He wasn't even sentenced because he wasn't proven guilty yet. This guy literally took a plea case. He wasn't even sentenced. He took a plea case.
Because Ken Paxton got that for him. And
Yes,
also,
because you are. Answer the question: are most people offered plea deals before they go to trial? Yes or no?
most people are, yeah. So
Okay,
what?
so he did his job just like everyone else. If you don't like the outcomes, you should change the laws because I'm almost positive if he could just gave the dude a death sentence, he would have.
Well,
If
I
he was
mean, I would
100% convicted.
for a lot of criminal justice reform, but that's not what we're discussing. We're talking about actually, fuck, it's actually getting kind of late on my end.
You want to hop out of here? We can.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting tired.
Any
And
final questions or comments? Let's see if there's anything they gotta say before you go.
sure.
Any final questions or comments? Drop some super chats. I'm not telling you what the name of the person of my family who got stabbed was. That's none of your business. Maybe one day I'll tell the story about on here.
The see the what is
All I'm
it?
gonna say is I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen them get stabbed with a 4-inch kitchen, or actually way bigger than 4 inches, about 6-inch kitchen knife, 4 times, and their
So
lungs collapsed.
somebody what is
And
it? The
I watched them get
Boogie
stabbed
Bowl?
with a 6-inch kitchen knife, and their lungs collapsed, and one of their lungs collapsed.
The Bugger Bull is saying I'm accepting defeat. No, I don't have infinite time to debate all subject. That's what's happening. I don't have
It's already
infinite
been
time.
2 hours, guys. It's already been 2 hours. If you have any final questions or comments
Yeah,
about him personally or about me, let us know.
I
Drop some
just
super
debated
chats.
I just debated 2 hours. So like I don't have infinite time to debate these subjects.
I'm with you. Did you? Oh, you're not frozen. I thought you were frozen for a second.
I'm not frozen.
Why are people getting mad at pretzels? His only bad point is the ice one. Who's pretzels? What do you mean pretzels? Who's? Oh, that guy with the pretzels. Okay.
I
Abolish
guess there's
abortion. We
an
need ice.
argument.
Trump is the best. What's up, pretzels? How you doing, brother?
Who the hell is pretzel?
Pretzels is this guy that's always in my comment section in my video. He's a cool guy. He says abolish abortion. Do you agree?
Well, listen, I'm not going to have the abortion debate.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. You don't got to. All right, man. Oh, nasty feet pictures. Ooh, what are you talking about? Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Dude, you're researching on live with one screen? I mean, I flipped my screen over when he wanted to see the sources. But I wasn't really thinking that we would be going off topic as much as we did. I wasn't planning on doing any research on the stream.
Um, I hate to be that guy, but every time I've talked with you, we have never stayed on topic.
Well, it's partially my fault, but it is both of our faults. Mostly my fault, but fair enough. I'll take the accountability.
Dumb suck ass. What the hell? Dumb suck ass? What the hell? Absolute rage bait. I'm not sure if I
Abolish
disagree with
bait,
you.
no, abolish abortion. Abortion is murder. The suction method, they literally suction the baby out of the womb with a vacuum cleaner that's 25 times stronger than your standard vacuum cleaner, and the brain's baby and skull and the whole uterus gets crushed and destroyed and ripped out. It's really a vile, violent, disgusting process. It's probably the most disgusting way to murder something you probably think of. Actually, if you guys want a point to not support abortion, go watch an abortion. Go watch an abortion on YouTube. I promise you, if you watch an abortion on YouTube, it's not going to be something you support.
Well,
Guarantee it.
I'm not here to have the abortion debate. What the fuck? Re-education camp for Trump coming.
A lot of Democrats say that. A lot of Democrats say they're going to put me in re-education camps. They're going to put me in an Auschwitz camp. They're going to, put us in prison, us MAGA in prison. All these kinds of threats. Be accurate. The other is to rip the baby apart and then vacuum. Oh yeah, the other method is to rip the baby apart first and then you vacuum it out.
Okay, no comment about abortion. I don't feel like having that debate really ever.
Okay, I'm just responding to some comments. Fuck Iran. This guy says free Iran. I say fuck Iran. Would I
Man,
be
there.
okay if Trump would I be okay if Trump got a BBL? No, that would be gay. That would be gay. Join Discord. Yeah, let me put the Discord link for you guys.
Damn, you got a lot of hate watchers.
This guy says Trump 2028. He's not a hate watcher. AI used missiles and strike on school old data DO. Yeah, I already know that. Well, there's no evidence. There's actually no evidence of that. I mean, if you can show me evidence, I've heard that before, but I've never seen any articles or proof of that.
Well, Pete Hegseth has been putting up signs in the Pentagon of Uncle Sam saying Uncle Sam wants you to use AI.
Well, Uncle Sam probably does want you to use AI. Are we all going to use AI in the future? What other choice do we have?
Well, AI, if you're not intelligent, makes you dumber.
I agree.
You
Ask
are more
Claude.
understand.
Ask Claude. What do you want me to ask Claude?
You're not Charlie Kirk.
I'm
Ah,
not
I didn't
trying to be
realize how many.
Charlie. I'm trying to be Euro and travel. I don't even see the comments you see. There's so many comments. We're seeing two different sections of comments.
It's not showing me the most recent comments. I'm just sort of scrolling through them.
I don't use AI ever. Shut it all down. You want to shut all of AI down? That's kind of radical. If we could, I would definitely do that, though. Not gonna lie with you there. If I could just remove it from Earth, I would for 100%.
The thing about AI is um, the reality of the technology is something that can't be erased, and it's something that we're going to have to deal with in the future. And wishing it didn't exist is not really helping the issue. We have to figure out how to deal with it.
Someone says AI is easy to manipulate. I agree. Peace out,
Actually,
Bob MC. Make sure you subscribe before you leave. Go ahead. Go ahead.
actually, AI is actually. I watched a video about it. It's called what is it? Like it was like poisoning data. Yeah, it's actually really easy to do to poison data from AI, and you could really confuse it really easily.
I'm sure. Listen, if y'all want to debate about Israel, join the Discord.
Got some Israel haters in here.
Oh, there's a lot of them in here. I'm just trying to find the link again. I know I have the link here somewhere to put it for them. All right, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. This is kind of hard to pull this up because I got to scroll way up. Let me keep scrolling.
Oh,
Okay.
ew, Donald Trump. I agree. He is gross.
Well, you're not. I thought you're sexually attracted to other men, just not Trump.
But definitely not Trump. What the fuck? Trump
It's
is
on Google for the strike. What do I look up about Claude
Trump
AI?
is
Say Claude
Trump
AI.
is like it baffles me that there's women who want to sleep with him.
What are you talking about, Scotty? They really, really hate Israel. Why do y'all hate Israel? Y'all don't know too much. You never been to Israel? Sure, you can hate the government or criticize the government if you want to, but I don't know why you'd hate the land of Israel when you've never been on the land.
I mean, that's a whole bag of worm. That's a like discussing that. Like, I think people are too emotionally invested on both sides to have a rational conversation about Israel.
I think we had a rational conversation about Israel. I think you have a very
Um,
rational take on Israel. I don't agree with everything, but I think you're pretty accurate. I mean, I agree with everything actually, but I just, maybe you say it in a certain way that I would probably use more delicate words, but we basically agree.
I mean, it's. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like.
Peace out, Gigi. These guys are so crazy. Read these comments. I'm gonna suck Euro's toes. I shit myself to pictures of Euro. Really? Y'all are obsessed.
Bro, what kind of fucking community do you have here?
Strike on Sharala, Tabal school in Iran. Sure. Let me see here. Let me see. I'll go ahead and look it up. Let me just copy and paste that super chat. Let's go ahead and look that up.
I think they're talking about the girls' school.
Yeah, they said something about the AI. Um, let's see. Yeah. I see about the AI. I'm sure there's Claude AI there.
The Jews caused the Holocaust, and they are causing
Yeah,
issues because
there was
they want to replay Exodus and Numbers again, playing real world mythology. Okay, Europe had centuries of anti Semitism leading up to World War II. Hitler had his own view of anti Semitism, and Hitler was able to gain power because he predicted that eventually Germany borrowing money from primarily the United States would eventually backfire. And I mean, you don't need to be a genius to predict something like that. But then the Great Depression happened. Like Hitler, oh, yeah, Hitler was a dummy in my opinion. The more I learn about him, the more I'm all unimpressed by him.
I hate XX because Fat Donnie
What?
likes it. The absolute height of stupidity our country has become Afghanistan's in terms of being tribalistic. If you guys only knew the level of hatred that exists for all of you apes simply
Now my
because you
headphones
are
are working.
Western. Aren't you Western? You said American money. Aren't you Western? Like, what kind of fucking super chat is this, my guy? Aren't you Western? I don't even understand what your point. What your point is? I see you're trying to say that we're tribalistic. I agree with you. I'm willing to vote Democrat. I mean, literally willing to vote any single Democrat, literally any person, because I don't care about the personalities. Take the person I hate the most. We'll say AOC. Would I vote for AOC if she had policies that I liked? Yes. Would I vote for Tampon Tim even though he freed a chomo? Probably no. But would I vote any other Democrats that don't have, connections to pardoning people like that? Yeah, I would vote any other Democrat if they had policies I like. So I have nothing tribalistic. I don't care about names like Democrats and Republicans. I like John Fetterman at the Democrat Party. In terms of Republicans, I like my favorite Republican, my favorite politician in general right now actually is not even Trump. I like Trump a lot, but as far as my favorite upcoming politicians that probably align more with me is Brandon Gill. He's a congressman out of Texas. So look up Brandon Gill if you guys haven't seen him before. He's extremely conservative, and I can honestly even see him becoming the president of the United States. He's extremely intelligent. He's very good at speaking. He makes strong points for immigration, a strong Texas border as a Texas congressman. Are you willing to send your kids? Send your own kids to war. What war? This Iran war? I'm willing to go out and serve Iran if there's a draft. If that's what you're asking me, or if I had an option, like if they said sign here on the dotted line and you can be sent to Iran, that could be something else I would probably consider if there was a guarantee. If that's the question you're asking. As far as my children, why would I send my children when I'm literally of age? Like that would make no sense. If I did have children, they wouldn't even be old enough to join the army or the military. So that would make no sense again.
Like, does anybody have any questions for me? Like, I've been sitting here for a little bit now, for a few minutes.
Most of them are just angry Democrats, so they probably won't really care to ask another person that hates Trump a question. Is it a call to pull your heads out of your asses, all of you? I am a vet that served in 2 separate wars. Americans simply have no clue left or right. Well, what side are you taking though? What policies do you like? Do you like strong borders? Do you like high taxes? Do you like low taxes? I mean, I can understand that you think that we're tribalistic, but at the end of the day, there's only a two-party system. We have more parties, but let's be honest here, they're not going to get enough money or enough power to get elected. I would agree with the Democrats too. I would be fine with stepping away from a two-party system. What if they said they will take them? What war? Once again, for what war? I would send my son to the army or to the Marines or to a war. Absolutely. If that's your question, if I would do that, yeah, I would because I think that builds a lot of character for a man. But I wouldn't force him to do it. I wouldn't force him to do it. I could advise
Somebody
it.
says, what is the guy on the right's name? Just call me Rifle.
Just bash at your door and take your son. Would I allow that? Once again, depends on the war and depends on the conflict. Are you asking me about the Iran war? Or you ask me about a future war when my kid, if I did have kids, would be old enough? Because those are, I mean, it depends. Depends. Rifle, how would you describe yourself politically? That's what someone asked.
I would kind of describe myself as a kind of a freaking conservative. Like, I believe in trusting institutions that have been tested over time, but also I recognize things should change over time, but I do not believe in radical sudden changes. So, like, naturally, like stuff like fascism and communism, I'm against because they advocate for radical, rapid change all of a sudden, all at once. And I'm pro First Amendment. I'm pro Second Amendment. I'm pro the Constitution. Uh, I wouldn't call myself like far right, but I would call myself right of center. So, I mean, I'm going to call myself a progressive because progressives tend to believe that the future has a fixed path. I don't believe that, and I don't necessarily believe that the progressive ideal, providing more comfort to people, is the best way forward. I think we need to provide meaning to people. Without meaning, all the corn and weed you provide people, corn, meaning the word that I can't say on YouTube because YouTube sucks. Like providing people corn and weed is not enough. Providing people with comfort is not enough. People need meaning. People need purpose. Like,
I agree. That's why I'm against socialism because I don't believe socialism provides purpose. It just provides money, and money is not going to give you purpose. And it has to take away other people's money to redistribute it. It's a conflict. Remember? Yeah. I mean, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I still don't know if you're talking about Iran or what you're talking about. But how was your day, Rifle? I like your beard. This is from some guy named Cockroach.
my day's been all right. I got some like paperwork stuff done. Was able to get that done. I went to Costco and It's my birthday today, so
Oh,
gave
happy
me
birthday, man. Happy birthday. I hope you have fun on here, my guy. Doesn't matter,
Rifle
right?
has
Go ahead.
Rifle has a fifth grade education. Why would anybody listen to him? I don't know. Can you say anything intelligent about something wrong I said?
I agree. Don't call someone stupid, criticize what they said. Doesn't matter if they take you against your will. It wouldn't be against my will. If they drafted me, it wouldn't be against my will. At least if you're talking about the Iran conflict. I view Dems as emotional, logical. Second, I think of a lot of Republicans as slowly becoming cult. Like when Trump matters, I will support the Constitution before any man. I agree. I'm a
S-
1776er before I'm MAGA every single day.
Slow,
Don't even call
slowly,
me.
like
Don't
the
even call
Republican
me
Party
MAGA
is a cult.
anymore.
It's a cult now. It's turned into a cult. It's
Well,
not
what party do
slowly
you
turning
belong
into a
to?
cult. It
You're just
is now a cult.
partyless. You're stateless. You're partyless. Plenty of Republicans don't support Trump, so how is it a cult? All Republicans don't even support Trump.
Mm.
And if you want to say anything, if you want to say what my actual political party is, I would say I'm a 1776er. I wouldn't say MAGA. I wouldn't say Republican. I wouldn't say conservative. I would say I'm straight 1776.
As he says with a Trump 2028 hat,
Yeah,
with
Trump's going to
a
be
Trump in
president
his
in
lap.
2028. There
He
was
will not.
there wasn't even any term limits back in when the Constitution was written, so I don't even know what the fuck you're even arguing about.
I bet you $100 he will not be the president in 2028.
You bet me $100 that Trump will not be president the entire year of 2028.
Oh, nice one. He
Oh,
will
so
not
now you're
be.
gonna say you're not gonna bet it on it. I thought you said you
No,
bet a
he's
hundred
not going to be.
dollars.
He's not going to be. He's not going to be
He's
the
gonna be
president.
president in 2028. You just admitted it. You know he's gonna be
No,
president the
no,
entire
no, no,
year of
no.
2028. Am I lying?
He. No, no, no. But Trump will not be president in 2029 going forward. And I mean, what I mean by 2029, he will not be president in 2029 after, what is it, January 20th?
Yeah, that would be
Trump,
correct.
how about this? Trump will not have a third term. I bet $100 he will not have a third term.
I'm not gonna bet against that because as it stands, he's not planning the run for 2028. So out of his own
Nope.
mouth, out of his
He will
own
not. He will
words.
not have a. He will not have a third term. I'm 100% certain of that.
Rifle's grammar is worse than a fifth grader. Can you even spell a word with more than 5 letters? I mean, is that the best you got? Is that all you got? I mean, is that the best you got?
You know, I'm just gonna ignore insults because it comes from dumb people.
We gonna have a barbecue? Do I know you? I mean, I like barbecues, but do I know you to have a barbecue with
So,
you?
does somebody have a criticism of something I have said?
Does anyone have a criticism of anything he said? I'll be waiting for your criticisms. If I don't see any criticisms, I'm gonna be pissed. You must have not been listening.
Probably not. I have found that these comment sections are not the height of intellectual discord.
Well, now you know how I feel. Guys, join the Discord if you actually want to criticize us. Don't just say we don't know how to spell. Cool. Next, move on. That's such a lame insult. You could have thought of a billion things better. Ask what do you do if Trump says he's king if he's king now? I mean he said it before as a joke. Okay, what do you want me to do?
I think he means like if he's like legitimate, if he's like serious about it.
Well, I'm not going to do anything because we have separations of power. Our own government will take care of it. The Democrats will take care of it. I mean, I'm not worried about that.
You seen the movie Civil War?
Yeah, I've seen that movie. I don't think our country has the balls to go to civil war with each other. People are too soft nowadays.
I think we're. I think
Democrats like that,
we're
but I
5
think most of them are
years.
just soft.
I would say we're like at least 5 years from a situation where you would start seeing serious
Oh, if
calls for
another
civil war.
Republican, if another Republican wins in 2025, I think that we are going to probably go into a civil war of some kind. Kings don't allow the SCOTUS to overrule them. You rube. Yeah, kings don't allow the SCOTUS to overrule them. You rube. Whatever the rube
So,
means.
like the No Kings protest, what I agree is not a great name because England has a king and they don't have the same problems we have right now. And I mean, if it was up to me, I would
You're
have
right. They have
gone
way
with
worse problems in England. They have way more illegal alien immigrants. They have way more rapes per capita, and they have way more stabbings per capita. And not to mention, 460,000 people die every single year in Europe from lack of fucking AC. They can't even keep their houses cold enough so they don't fucking die. You know that's higher than the gun deaths in America? More people in Europe die from lack of AC than people die in America from gun violence. It's
hmm
stupid. It's ridiculous.
but they also are not having the same problems we are having.
What same
Yeah.
problems? Mass deportations? Is that a problem?
Well, Trump is not even getting to the numbers he's talking about. We have a bunch of
What,
mass
4 million
guilds
isn't
going
enough for
around
you? You
harassing.
want more deportations? Is that what you're advocating for? I thought you said they were unhumane.
I what I advocate for the illegal immigration, well, for the illegal immigrants we have in this country is, well, for one, most of them are asylum claim seekers. So we need more immigration judges to declare if their claims are legitimate or not. We need more of that. There needs to be a faster process, and due process can be pretty freaking fast. We're not talking like the hearing could be as long as 10 minutes, just as long as they get their facts right, as long as they give the person a fair chance to hear. That's all I care about. If it's like 10 minutes, that would be amazing. That'd be amazing if it was like
It's
down to
hard to
10
hear
minutes.
someone's whole story in 10 minutes, but what I can tell you is
You don't need to
65% of
hear a
it.
full story. You don't
What
need
I
to hear their
can.
full story.
Okay, fair enough. What I can tell you is 65% of asylum seekers are rejected. 65% of them for falsely trying to apply for asylum. It's
That's
a very
why
high
that's
number.
why we need a that's why we need a system to cycle through them faster.
98,000 grape offenses were reported by police on record. That's crazy.
Okay? Where? When? What?
All over the EU. That's just in the EU. That's 28 countries.
Nine what was it? 90,000?
Yeah, 100,000. I find that number a little bit
Um
low. Besides,
I mean
The UK is not a part of the EU. Go ahead.
the immigration problem in the EU is I could see why people think they're the same, but they're not the same. There's a lot of differences.
I do agree there
Like,
are a lot of differences, but they are very comparable. But the one in Europe is a lot worse.
but we don't like.
Because the people in America, they're Mexican. They're mostly like us. Most of them are Hispanic and Mexican. They're closer to being like us. They're Catholics. They have similar values to us. But the people that are coming in Europe are from the Middle East and they do not have European or Western values at all.
I mean,
2024 is
I
lower now, way lower. I'm not talking about the EU, honey. I'm talking about the UK. The UK is
well,
not
I
a
mean
part of the EU.
the EU is a whole another conversation,
Yeah, I was talking
and
about, the UK.
the UK is
There was
the UK.
71,000 grapes reported in a single year. That's just in Wales. England and
Okay,
Wales. Just England and Wales alone. And the majority of these people were from Middle Eastern countries.
I mean, I don't know. If you want to talk about problems in the EU, it probably be better to talk to somebody who has more knowledge about the EU.
But what do you think about the ACs? Do you think it's kind of stupid that they think that global warming is a reason for them not to get ACs?
I mean, global warming. Like, think about global warming. I think what we should do is
If
start
that's not
developing
why they don't
nuclear
have
power.
ACs, then why don't they have fucking ACs? I lived in Europe
I
for
don't
3 years. The only
know.
ACs they had
There.
was the wall mounts.
So what I do know what's going on is each summer has been breaking record heat records, and I know this because I've talked to people who've been around for a long time, even in my area, and they talk about how each summer is getting hotter and hotter.
God bless
They've been
SD. God bless. Have a good one, man. Much
they've been
appreciated. I hope
keeping
you subscribe.
records for a long time. As it gets hotter and hotter, people are going to be using their ACs more and more, and that's going to put a strain on the electrical system, what the electrical system may not necessarily be ready for. So, but also, I don't really debate global warming. So, I mean, I
So you're
mostly
saying they
just
don't have the
debate that Trump
electricity
sucks.
grid to handle the you don't you said they don't have the electricity grid then to handle the ACs or whatever. That's your opinion. I think that's
No, I'm
probably
saying the
true.
electrical grid is well, what they would say is the electrical grid is not prepared for the demand that is
I
being
agree.
put upon it. Yeah, so like,
I mean, Spain had a power outage for 3 days last year. 3 fucking days. Actually, no, it was in 2020. Yeah, it was in 2025. So 3 days
but
last year, the
also,
country of Spain had no fucking power in most of the cities.
but also, here's another thing. More, what was it? Europeans dying to heat deaths than gun violence. Wouldn't that be an indication that things are getting hotter?
I mean, things in Florida, it's not any hotter than it was last year or the year before. Even if you look at South America, take a look at South America, Central America. They don't have. A lot of places are not having heat. Like record high heats, but it's mostly Europe and in North America mostly. I'm not saying it's not happening in some countries down south in South America, but in Europe has short summers too, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, what you would do is you would look at the record of heat year over year, and you would like you put it on a graph and see where the trend is. And all this stuff I've seen for that has indicated things are getting hotter and hotter.
Okay.
It's pretty, it's, well, I mean, this is the first year that I'm living in the area that I am, but it's pretty freaking hot where I'm at right now.
Okay, so it's the first year where you felt like it was hot. So maybe it's just on and off. Because in the last 3 years in Florida, at least in winter times, we've been having way colder winters than we've previously had.
But we would go off of records of temperature
I mean, they don't even
over
call it
decades.
global warming anymore. They call it climate change. I mean, that has to be for a reason, right? Because they figured out they can't just lie to us and tell us the climate's always getting warmer when some places are getting
Well,
colder.
the proper scientific term for it is anthropomorphic climate change, but I've heard it called global warming when I was younger. I heard it called climate change, and I've heard it called
The
global
name has
warming.
changed throughout time, has it not?
Well, people call things different, like things different thing. Like they call the same thing something. They use different names and words for it over time. I don't. That's not the evidence I would use to indicate that there's global warming. That's not that like what I would use is the heat record to prove that there's a trend of heating up. Like that's the record I would
I
go.
don't even
That's
want to
like what I
debate
would go
about
by.
global warming. Just like you don't want to debate about abortion, I don't even want to get started on
Fair
global
enough. Fair
warming.
enough. Fair enough.
This idiot says you have climate change in your house. Yeah, it gets hot, man. Even if you have AC cranking, if it gets hot enough, it doesn't really help. I mean, it does help, but you can still have some. If you keep your door open or in and out, then your house will get fucked by the heat.
Well, I mean, if you want to get super technical about it, then the climate is always changing. But like what scientists would say is what they're concerned about is the rate of change. And I mean, I haven't really looked into it. Like every time I look into it, I start losing track when I start reading parts per million. I'm just like, what the heck does that mean? Um, but yeah, I like. I mean, nuclear energy, build nuclear power plants. That's what we need to be doing.
So where do all these people get this lovely idea of nuclear power plants? Because I've heard it again and again, and I think it sounds like a good idea, but I'm just curious where everyone's learning about
Well,
this
I
stuff.
mean, nuclear power plants. I would
Nuclear energy.
say like people are generally nervous about the idea of nuclear energy and events like Chernobyl. By the way, Chernobyl was a unique situation, and any power plants that we would build would be so much safer than Chernobyl. It's not even funny. So, like, we know so much more than we did back in the days of Chernobyl, and we can make such incredibly advanced, safe nuclear facilities now. It's not even funny, but the reason people and I remember this from when I was younger, and this was like in the '90s. Like, people were really scared of nuclear energy and all of that. I hate to say it because I like The Simpsons, but it has a lot to do with The Simpsons making nuclear energy look bad and making it look like it's horrible and all that stuff. I mean, I think the reason we don't have more of it is just because people don't understand it. That's what I think the main reason is.
I understand. I agree with that. Well, I don't understand how it works, but I agree with that statement. If you are sitting in air conditioning, drive a car, buy anything, you are a global warmer. Welcome to the club. I don't believe that. I believe this other comment that someone said that the global climate would be changing with or without humans. I 100% believe that one as well.
So that's not the argument. Like, the argument is that we're changing the rate of it.
Do you think we're changing the rate of it?
Um, I find it hard to believe that we have had no impact on the climate. There's 8 billion humans alive now. Like, we're all using electricity. We're using fossil fuel at a rate that has never been seen throughout the entire history of the planet, and we're I would find it like I would be legitimately shocked to find out we have no impact on the climate. That's just insane that we have
But do you
no
think it's enough to? But do you think it's enough to put like Miami underwater in 20 or 30 years?
I don't know. I don't know enough about the whole rise of water levels and all that stuff. And the thing about scientific predictions, and any honest scientist will say this is like, this is just an estimate on what would happen. This is not a prophecy. This is something that might potentially happen given the information we have now, and there might be information that we don't know about that would change what would happen. But what they're predicting in general is adverse conditions for life on Earth if the temperature keeps rising. And the thing is, we don't really know what would happen if temperature like were to rise to like a crazy amount. We don't
What do you
know
think
what
about
would.
past climate change activists saying stuff like New York was supposed to be underwater by 1998?
Well, I don't take activists seriously.
Well, they're not activists; these are actual climate change scientists that have made claims like this about certain parts of the United States going underwater, and they never did.
Okay. So I when you make like no offense, Graham, but when you make claims like that, I'm a little skeptical of
I
when
mean,
you
you
make
want me
claims
to? I
like
mean,
that.
ask your dad, ask your granddad, ask someone in your family. They can probably tell you that there has been
Well,
scientists, global warming scientists, at
my
one time or another on TV talking about so and so city's going to be underwater because of global warming.
well, both of my grandparents are like both of my grandpas are passed away, and my dad would just probably just agree with everything you're saying. So,
Why is he a Republican?
he is a Trump supporter. I would not call him a Republican anymore.
Why he doesn't support the Republican Party in general?
Doesn't have Republican values.
You'd say that about all Trump supporters, though, wouldn't you?
The majority, yes.
The majority. So is there an exception?
Well, I'm certain there are plenty of Republicans with Republican values who are just trying to white knuckle it through it, just all like Trump sucks, but I'm going to support him because he's better than the alternative. I believe there are plenty of Republicans who believe that, who I would agree with on a lot of issues, but I would say they're dead wrong about Trump. Like every second Trump is in office is denigrating our nation.
How? Nothing good that you can say Trump did?
I mean, I'm sure if I were to look through it, I could find the good things he's done, things that I agree with. I'm certain I can find that. I have no interest in it because the bad things he has done have been so bad. Any good he might have done is completely overshadowed by all the bad things he has done.
But can you say one good thing that Trump did or no? Off the
No,
top
I
of your
mean,
head?
off the top of my head, I mean, I would have to think about it because I haven't thought about anything good he has done for a while. I mean, mostly focus on the bad things he's done because they're so incredibly bad. But let's see, something he has done uh, recently. I mean, I guess, well, this is purely for selfish reasons, but no taxes on tips benefits me personally. So I guess that's good.
How is that a selfish thing? Trump doesn't even get any tips. How would that benefit him?
No, I mean, selfish for me because, like,
Oh,
I
okay.
directly benefit from that.
Well, a lot of people benefit from that.
Well, I mean, that's something he does directly benefit from. So I guess that, but like, I
Well,
don't.
the Democrats for a long time tried to deny that it was even real. They try to say tax on tips is a fake, it's a scam, it's not true, yada yada yada. I've heard it all before. They denied and denied.
Well, I don't know what
Do you agree
this.
that Trump has accomplished a good amount of his campaign promises? Maybe not everything, but at least there has to be at least two things you can admit that he committed that were his campaign promises. I mean, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security.
Well,
Those were all
I
campaign promises that came true. Those were three campaign promises
I
right there.
I say I should have believed him more when he said he was going to go after his political opponent, and I should have believed him more about his cruelty.
What cruelty? What's cruel? Why do
Well,
you
the
think
close.
deporting illegals is cruel? Why every other country does that? Why do you think it's cruel?
It's how he's doing it, and it's not just illegals he's deporting.
Well, who was it? Who was a U.S. citizen that was deported that wasn't allowed back in under the Trump administration?
Well, U.S. citizens have been detained, and you can
Sure,
go
I've been
ahead and look it
detained
up.
by the police too. Have you been stopped for a speeding ticket before?
That's not the same thing at all.
That's a
We're
detainment.
talking
That's a police detainment.
where okay. So you've told me the story before when you were detained. They at least gave you a reason for it,
They have an
and you
own
were
for
and
it.
you
They
were
don't
coming
give
through.
a legal
You were
reason
coming
for it
through.
too. They said you're suspected of entering the country illegally.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, what
based
other
off of what?
reason? What other reason is it when you have an ICE police officer pull you over? What other reason would it be other than you have suspicion of being an illegal alien immigrant? I mean,
Well,
it's kind of self telling.
I don't doubt that these ICE officers are believe they have reason, they have cause to pull over people and detain people, but these are poorly trained individuals. Like I've I've seen them in actions in plenty of videos, and these guys are clowns. They're just absolute clowns. And I've been talking to my veteran friends, like guys who've been through the real stuff, like stuff that let's just
Well, you still
say,
haven't proven the argument. What legal citizen has been deported?
is that the standard you're going by?
You told me you made a
That's
claim.
not
Can you
this.
provide evidence for your claim? Your claim was that American
I
citizens were being deported.
I
You
did
don't have
not.
any
I did not.
evidence.
Did not. Not every
So you
immigrant.
cannot
Not
substantiate your
every.
claim then.
So you knew no. Not every non-citizen who is in the country is here illegally. Do you know that?
What do you mean non-citizen? You mean visa holders?
Visa holders, like there's plenty of non-citizens who are
Sure,
in
visa
this country.
holders. Visa holders, that's it. There's only visa holders,
Well,
non-citizens, and illegals and citizens. That's the only four options. Either
well,
you're a
there's
citizen,
people.
you're a visa holder, you're an illegal alien immigrant.
Well, there are non-citizens in America who have been. Let me get a damn haircut. Sorry to look like a hippie, but there's non-citizens in America who are here legally who have been detained and deported.
Who?
Let's see, Kilmore Abreu Garcia.
Kilmore's not an American citizen. He has no American citizenship. He doesn't even have an American passport.
He's legal. He's legal. He was legally here,
No, he had
and he
two
was
deportation orders. He was not legally
mm,
here. In fact, he's about
no.
to get
He was,
deported again because the federal Supreme Court said he can be deported. He just can't be deported to El Salvador. So he's going to be
but he
deported
was
again this
deported to
year.
El Salvador.
Yeah,
And
because the court system found that
from
you
what
can't
I'm hearing
appeal this.
about CCOP, it sounds like a massive human right violation. Like
Okay, that's a
they're
prison.
prison. No, you according to
Either way,
international
he's not
law,
a U.S. citizen. He wasn't deported wrongfully, and he's about to get deported again this year.
prison.
I would bet
You
you
do
money.
know.
Would you like to bet money if he's going to get deported again? Because I will bet money that he's going to get
I
deported
wouldn't
again.
be betting. I wouldn't be betting money on him being deported or not.
Then why won't
Uh,
you? Because he's not a citizen. He's not even a visa holder. He's here illegally. He had two deportation orders. How he's not a citizen. He has no U.S. citizenship. He doesn't even have a visa. How is he? How is that an example of a U.S. citizen being deported? He's not even
well,
from Mexico. He's from El
he had
Salvador.
a he had a legitimate claim of asylum.
That was revoked. Was it revoked? If it wasn't
So you're
revoked, then
saying
why did he have two?
it would be safe for him to go back to El Salvador.
Yes, El Salvador is the safest country in the world.
Um,
Based on
so
crime
even
statistics in 2025, it's one of the safest countries in
so
the
you do
world.
know
It has a lower
Bukele,
crime rate than
who
America.
Bukele has referred to himself as a dictator. The
What
CCOP
dictator?
has. Hmm?
What are you talking about in El Salvador? Yeah, it's all jokes and funny. Okay,
Bukele,
we're
yeah,
talking about
Bukele.
crime. You asked me if it's safe. I said yes, it's safe. How is a dictatorship relevant? We're not talking about if it's a democracy or not. I don't care if it's a democracy. You asked me if it
Okay,
was safe.
I'm
You
about to
pivoted.
explain.
You pivoted. It has the lowest, one of the
Explain
lowest crime rates in the world. Why is it not safe for him to return? Lower crime
because
rate than America. Lower crime rate in the United States of
he
America.
has exposed human rights violations in CCOP. If he goes
Okay, that's
back
not our
to
country.
El Salvador, he is at risk of from the government of El Salvador.
Not if they agree to letting him back, but we're not going to deport him back to CCOT. We're not even going to deport him back to El Salvador. They're already talking in the court system. They're going to deport him to
Well, they're not
Africa.
gonna. If it's okay, so they're not what
They're going
deporting
to
to
deport him to
Africa.
Africa, probably. They're talking about it.
Deporting him to Africa. How on earth is that moral?
Because he's illegal. How is it moral to let him stay in our country when he beat up his wife? And he's a criminal
I
and
don't
he
know.
in Italy.
I don't
How is
know
that
about him.
moral? How is that moral? When his wife admitted to it on camera in court, crying her eyes out how her husband beat her, but she doesn't want to press charges anymore because he went to
You
therapy.
know what? You know, Graham. You ever heard of the YouTuber Pisco?
No.
So he's I believe his ethnicity is Puerto Rican, but he's a well, I mean Puerto Ricans are Americans, but he's a lawyer who is well, he's very much anti-Trump actually. Compared to me, well, he's very much anti-Trump. He's a lawyer. He debates actually Abrigo Garcia specifically all the time. If you look him up,
Well, send me his channel. I'll debate him.
all right, I'll look up his channel. I'll send you a link to his channel. And he loves debating Trump supporters all the time. I'm sure if you somehow get in communication with him, he would love to have a debate with you. But
Is he
also,
popular? Is he famous? Most lawyers that are YouTubers are big, famous guys.
I'm well, I mean, no offense to you, but his channel is bigger than yours, so I don't
Obviously,
know
that's
if
not
you.
offensive. I'm a very, very small channel.
Yeah, but I mean, if you own him and make him look stupid, then that'll be good
I
for
could
you.
easily
I'll
do
look.
that if he's debating him.
When I get off of this, I'll send you a link to.
Please, man, that'd be awesome. If you know anyone else that you think would be a good debate, if you're ever thinking about it, send them my way. I'll do it. I like.
There's a community that there's another Discord community that I'm a part of. Counterpoint. He's another never Trump Republican. I don't know. I don't know if you debate you, but you ever heard of WIC TV?
Wick TV?
Yeah, they host debates all the time. I'm also part of that Discord. I'm I'm a little bit more known in the Counterpoint Discord. Like I actually have had a couple of conversations with Connor. That's his name. He's another Marine veteran, so like we were just commiserating what it's like being a never Trump Republican. It's I don't know. There's like a very little conservatives that are against Trump, and I find that very disappointing.
I
Actually,
think
I'm
that's
disappointed in myself that I supported him for as long as I did.
is the name of
So
his
that's
channel Foreign Policy?
foreign policy.
Is that him? Is that the name of his channel? I don't think so. I think I'm on the wrong channel. Anyway, you can send it to me later.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to their channels. Uh, like you might be able to more easily get in contact with Counterpoint.
I don't think
Uh,
you're gonna change your mind on Trump, so I'm not even gonna try to change your mind on Trump. All I'm gonna say is I hope you vote red in the midterms, and I hope you vote red in
I'm
the
voting blue.
2028.
I'm voting
Why are
blue.
you voting
I'm
blue?
voting
You're
blue
not
no
a
matter who.
Republican. If you vote blue no matter who, then you're a Democrat. Then you're not a Republican. You're not a conservative. You like transgender ideology and you like abortion and you like cutting off kids' penises and raising taxes, then you can vote Democrat.
I'm voting for Democrats because I believe MAGA is a fascist movement.
Well, this has nothing to do with MAGA. And socialism is more aligned with fascism than MAGA. Socialist is a fascist ideology.
I would say it's an authoritarian ideology, and
Authoritarian is fascism. That's one of the 13 points or 14 points of fascism.
I would not call communism fascism. There's some distinct
Communism is
differences.
absolutely fascism.
So, other than the
So you
authoritarianism,
wouldn't call communism or socialism fascist, but you would call the Trump administration fascist for letting you have your constitutional rights, for letting you have your constitutional freedom rights. Not a single one of your rights has been taken away or stripped away or even attempted of being stripped away. And you sit here and act like we live in a fascist country, which is just completely wrong. You couldn't even give me the 13 or 14 points of fascism if you tried. You couldn't even give me a definition of fascism if you tried. Go ahead.
definition I would give fascism, like get the word for it, but political corporatism, seeing the state
That's
as
not fascism. What is political corporatism? You mean our government, any government supporting capitalism is fascism? Is that what you're trying to say?
Nope.
Then what is that? What does that mean then? Explain what that means. What do you mean political
Political
corporationism?
corporatism is actually one thing I would agree with fascism on, is that the nation is kind of like an organism. You look
So
at
it's like a business. So it's
more like an organ.
So you're basically claiming capitalism is
organism.
fascism.
I would not call capitalism fascism.
So what aspect of our country is like this? Can you please explain it in numerous terms?
No. I wouldn't say we're a fascist nation yet, but I would say MAGA is a fascist movement.
Okay, explain how.
Okay, so political corporatism, seeing the nation as a single body, that's one point. Another thing
That's
is
literally what every government in the entire world sees their country as: one nation and one government under God. Remember, one nation, one government under God? That's in our Constitution. One nation under one God. You're literally describing our Constitution and calling it fascist.
Okay, I already said.
I'm bewildered. You're saying one nation under one God is fascism? Please explain it more. I'm trying to understand.
I would not say one nation under God is fascism. So political corporatism, that's one point. Another point is flexible authoritarianism, taking power.
What is that? What means there's no such thing as flexible authoritarianism. Authoritarianism is either authoritarianism or it isn't.
I was about to explain.
Like the first two words you make up are just bullshit words, non-existent. What do they mean? What do these things mean? Describe them. Show examples.
Flexible authoritarianism is taking power by any means, and we could look at
just a democracy through popular vote. Does that fit the definition through popular vote? Democracy, popular vote.
That would be
electoral college.
What I mean is, when ideology accepts flexible authoritarianism, that means they're not really picky about how they gain power.
They gain power in an election.
They would if they had a legal ideology accept flexible.
So how does Trump fit that when he got voted by the majority of the country voted for Donald J. Trump? So how does this have to do with him being a dictator or stealing power or taking power?
Okay, so flexible authoritarianism. If you're a flexible authoritarian, if you could get power through elections, you will do that. If you could get power through a coup, you would do that. If you could get power through legal means,
he's never trying to take power through any other methods other than the election. Even on January 6th, he said, "Stand down, be peaceful."
He did not.
I mean, He's never tried to take power over the country in any other way other than through
He
election.
had
Your first 2 points are just
he
completely invalid.
had
Can you give me one example of Trump being a fascist? I'll wait. Just one.
okay. Here's something. So a flexible relationship to the truth, meaning whatever they need to be true is what's true. So what
So
that
telling
means
someone
is
your opinions telling someone your opinions is not fascism. That's what you're describing. Trump telling you he thinks this or he thinks that. That's not an example of fascism. That's just stupidity that you're describing
no,
that you disagree
no,
with.
no, no. Trump will call anything true if it pushes his narrative. If it
Okay,
gets
that's not
him,
fascism. That's still not fascism. I'm still waiting for you to
well,
describe how
any
Trump
one
is a
of these.
fascist.
No, 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 no. What I'm saying is, any one of these points by themselves would not be fascism. Them together
He doesn't even
would be
touch one of
fascism.
these points. Not one of these points describes Trump, and you have not told me how one of them describes Trump. You can't tell me what fascism is or how Trump is a fascist. I'm still waiting for you to explain what has he done that's fascist. And you said that he gave
Okay,
your
so
opinion about the Iran war and you didn't
what's
like it, and you said
what's
that's
one of the
fascism.
points have I? What's one of the points have I gone over? Do you want me to give you examples of?
It can literally be any of the points. Just name me one point that Donald Trump matches fascism at.
Okay, let's focus on flexible authoritarianism then. He's been using executive orders in ways that no other president has,
That's incorrect as
including
well. Trump hasn't even used the
including
most executive orders. Truman, he used over 2,600 executive orders. Trump has only used about 400. So no, he's not using executive orders in any other way that no other president has done. Plenty of presidents have used executive orders a lot more and far more than Donald J. Trump has. What rights has this guy lost? I
okay,
don't know.
I am talking about the way he's using executive orders. So one
Example.
way attempted to overturn the 14th Amendment with an executive order.
Other presidents have done the exact same thing before. Would you like me to pull up cases of people questioning our constitutional amendments? People use executive orders plenty of time to question our constitution. Would you like examples?
Can you give me an example of a president straight up using an executive order to overturn a constitutional amendment?
The Constitution was not overturned. Neither was the amendment. No one was deported for having birthright citizenship. So what you just said was completely false.
Him failing is not a positive point towards him.
It's
He
not
failed.
failing. It's that he never used it. He never did it. Therefore,
He
that's not
gave
an
an executive
authoritarian.
order on day one to overturn the 14th Amendment, and
Okay, other presidents have give executive orders
it was
before.
ruled unconstitutional in
Okay,
the
other
Supreme Court.
presidents have the same thing happen to them. Exact same thing. Here, I'll pull up stories. What other president has used executive orders?
None of them use executive orders to overturn a constitutional
They
amendment.
didn't overturn the Constitution. They questioned the constitutional amendment.
No,
Harry
no, he
Truman. Harry
attempted.
Truman. He tried to seize private property using the executive order, which that was deemed unconstitutional.
Okay,
Personal property,
I'm
personal
sure.
property is part of our constitutional rights, and Harry Truman tried to seize property unconstitutionally. He issued an executive order called the 10340, ordering the federal government to seize property and private steel mills. That was deemed unconstitutional. That's an example of a president questioning the constitutionality of a certain amendment. That was
Did
Harriet
Trump
Truman.
did Trump attempt to overturn the 14th Amendment
No,
with an
no.
executive order?
No. Overturn it? No. Correctly interpret it in a different way? Yes. If he was trying to overturn the Constitution, he would be having Congress vote on it. He would be having them vote to change the Constitution. He wouldn't be trying to
No,
ask the Supreme Court.
if he was trying to
He was
do it the
trying to
right
ask the
way, he would.
Supreme Court to clarify with the 14th Amendment.
He was not.
He was
He
asking
was
them to
asking him to
clarify.
overturn it.
No, he
He was asking
wasn't.
him.
He was asking them to clarify if this was relating to illegal alien immigrants. And they said apparently yes, because two of the judges didn't like Trump. And then one of them was Obama
Well,
judges.
Amy Coney Barrett has ruled in favor of Trump and has ruled against Trump. She's not just doing it
Okay, what
because
about
screw
the
Trump.
Obama appointed judge? She was appointed by Obama. Was she the Obama appointed one, or was she the Trump appointed one?
No, she was appointed by Trump.
Well, then I'm talking about the Obama appointed one that voted against Trump.
I'm
There
not
was two
sure.
Obama appointed judges that they voted against Trump.
Okay. Two of them were appointed by Trump and they voted against him.
Okay, and how many judges are there, or how many Supreme Court justices are there? There's 9. So 2 of
9.
them is not going to change a vote. But anyway,
There was
let's go
only
back
two.
to.
There was only 2 the Republican Supreme Court justices who voted in favor of Trump's ruling.
Did you know? Did you know that President Abraham Lincoln suspended habeas corpus? That's also against the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
That's a way bigger constitutional violation, by the way. But
so I
that's
don't know much
multiple
about
amendments.
the.
That's the
I don't
Fifth
know.
Amendment
I
and
don't
the
know much.
14th Amendment.
I don't know as much about the Lincoln
That's the
administration
same
as.
amendment. That is the 14th Amendment. Habeas corpus is part of the 14th Amendment. So that's literally the exact same thing Trump did. He questioned the 14th Amendment. So did Abraham Lincoln. Do you think Abraham Lincoln was a bad man?
I think Abraham Lincoln was dealing with a civil war.
And I think Donald J. Trump is dealing with multiple terror attacks around the world and multiple economic pressures from an economic war against countries like Russia and China.
You do know the Civil War killed more Americans than any other American war?
Is that 100% true? Well, we killed, I think, 500,000. But there's way more people.
Can you point to another war where
Wait, the
500,000
war is
Americans died?
irrelevant. The war is not an excuse. What a president did is what a president did. We're not here to give
Well,
excuses.
it's
You said
exceptional.
you made a
It's
claim. You said no other
exceptional
president has tried to
circumstances.
change the 14th Amendment. That would
It's
be wrong. Other
acceptable.
presidents have.
It is exceptional circumstances that does not
So
exist
you're just gonna
now.
give excuses when I point the facts out that other presidents questioned the 14th Amendment, just like Donald J. Trump. You just give excuses and give special exceptions for them. But when it's Trump, you don't give any special exceptions. You say bad man, bad,
hold on,
wrong,
hold
wrong.
on, hold on. Mario Azam, why are Dems so hideous, bro? I've seen Trump supporters. Don't at me. Like, look up Trump supporters. Like,
Look at Democrats, bro. They're wearing blue hair and nose rings and lip piercings. I mean, I'm not the prettiest motherfucker, but at least I don't wear a nose ring or a lip ring. Not. There's nothing wrong with it, but
you're
it's not.
the better looking Trump supporter I've
Well,
seen.
then I guess you're the better looking Democrat, or the better looking vote blue, no matter who, or the better looking whatever you want to say politically. Hitler was a
Well,
fascist who
that is
got elected
something.
to elections. Yeah, he was a fascist dictator. That's correct. Hitler was a fascist dictator.
Yep. There are specific things you could point to
He
him
was
being a
also a
fascist dictator.
socialist. He was also literally a socialist. That's hilarious. And you don't
He
think socialism
also he also
is
viciously
fascist?
he also viciously went after socialists and communists.
Well, he fought against communists. He never went after socialists. Not that I know of.
What are you talking about? That
What socialist
no,
did he go after?
like names specifically.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't give you specific names because I don't know the name of every victim of Hitler. I mean, I know Anne Frank. That's a victim
Anne
of
Frank
Hitler.
was
That's a.
a socialist?
I wouldn't
I'm
say she
sure
was a
there were Jewish
socialist.
people that were socialists, but he didn't target them for being socialist. It was called the National Socialist Party. That was literally the name of his party. So why would he target
And
socialism? National Socialist.
and North Korea calls himself the Democratic Republic of Korea.
Yeah, but everyone agrees that Germany was socialist.
No, nope, not everybody.
Well, I guess you were disagreeing.
Well, I
Iran.
mean, you Yeah, like if you think
I mean, they're
everybody,
self-proclaimed. They're literally self-proclaimed socialists.
if you think everybody agrees that the Nazis were socialists, then you don't.
Most historians, the majority of historians agree.
Nope,
Yes, absolutely. That's a
nope,
historical
nope,
consensus.
nope. That is not a historic census.
I'm just gonna have to disagree. I can't think of any sources to provide or show for this one, but I mean, if I Google it, it'll probably say yeah.
Nope, no. Like you Google it, it will not say historians agree that Nazis were socialists.
Here we go. Here's someone with a little bit of historical data. The Nazis aggressively hunted members of the Social Democratic Party. Well, that was Democratic Party, not socialism. So they hunted Social Democratic Party, people that were like the Social Democrats of the day, and they hunted the Communist Party of Germany as well as independent trade unionists and members of their own left-wing faction. Yeah, sure, but they didn't specifically hunt down socialists. A social democratic party is
What the
different.
heck? I'm sorry, but you have some real goofballs in your chat. Like someone saying Jews declared war on Germany before World War II. What the hell are you talking about?
He's obviously blaming the economic crisis of Germany on the Jews, which is what Hitler's view was, which is also disgusting and despicable.
Uh, uh, oh my god, I can talk forever about how people are so brain broken about the Jews.
They are
Like
so
I've had
brain
to,
the Jews. We could do a
like,
whole episode about that.
mm,
They
I
stub their
mean,
toe and they blame it on the Jews. They stub their toe and they blame it on the Jews.
I
It's
mean,
crazy.
anti-Semitism is like is probably the most ridiculous form of bigotry I've ever seen. Because like say racism towards the blacks, nobody was accusing them of secretly controlling the world, and just like any other bigotry to any other group, like nobody accuses them of secretly controlling the world. But like when you're an anti-Semite, you can blame the Jews for everything wrong in your life. And holy crap, it's actually getting really late over here. I gotta dip out.
All right.
I'll send you the
All right.
I'll send you the Oh, APAC. Okay, brilliant. Anyways, just somebody posted APAC and that's it. Like, oh no,
Hollywood.
I never thought.
APAC, Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Ooh.
Wow, I never heard Jews
Oh,
control Hollywood.
wow.
I never heard. Yeah, like
Wow.
wow, you really sold me. You said Hollywood. I never thought of that.
Wow,
I've
man. Neither
never
of us
thought of
heard of
that.
that. Wow. Wow. Who know a lot of producers of movies were ethnically Jewish? Most of them probably aren't even religiously Jewish, just ethnically Jewish. Wow. Wow.
Okay, I'll send you the link to those two channels. But yeah, you take care. I gotta
All right,
start getting
man.
ready for
Happy
bed.
birthday again. Take care. I hope you had
Thank
a
you.
nice, enjoyable evening. Peace out. Peace out.
Yeah, peace.
He looks like he needed help to get, to leave, so I just helped him out. Get the likes way up there. Oh, a couple of you guys are saying happy birthday. Y'all are nice. Y'all are nice. I don't side with the lefties. I side with whoever thinks the Jews are not the enemies. There's plenty of conservatives who think Jews are not our enemies. Plenty of them. Plenty of them. But make sure you get the likes way up. Subscribe. Drop some major super chats. Drop me some memberships if you enjoyed that. I thought that was a great debate. That was pretty long, though. I don't know if we're going to hop back on here today or not. But we will definitely be in the Discord if you guys want to reach out to us to set up any debates for tomorrow or any other times throughout the week or any coming times where we have a pretty open schedule, but we have some more debates that are starting to fill up really, really quickly. So get it now while you can. Join the Discord before, our week gets filled up with debates. Well, we're comfortable debating whatever you want, as long as it's something factual that you can prove and not just Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. If you got no evidence of Epstein, then I don't want to debate about it. And even if you say you have any evidence of Epstein, I know you don't have any evidence of Epstein. Otherwise, it would be on CNN. So no, I do not want to debate about it. Get the likes way, way, way up there. You're going off allegations, and I don't want to have a screaming match over allegations. But make sure you guys get the likes up, subscribe, drop some super chats. I'm about to hop out of here in a minute. If y'all have any final questions, comments, whatever you want to talk about, we can. Dems are tools? Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I've proven a lot. I love what Trump is doing, guys. Join the Discord, though. I guess that's it for this evening. Unless y'all have any final questions, comments, whatever you want to talk about. Democrats believe in nothing, a lot of them. All right, guys. Have a good evening. Join the Discord. I'm going to put it one last time, and then I'm out of here. All right, guys. Have a good evening. Peace out. Much love.